It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Mother effing melts.
You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Gabe Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We have just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me out of my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
You gotta run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But like, you gotta promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be like my favorite movie. Time. So great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guys, Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.
Damn shot!
I'm great. Whenever you're ready to get it going.
A secret?
What do I say?
Am I saying?
Oh my God. They snuck in. It's beautiful. Thanks for getting in.
Of course. So it felt great to see Tony. He has been incredibly supportive through this entire process. Of course, we had communicated and talked, but it's not the same as seeing someone face to face.
Hey, I'll close the door. I'm going to run by every time I go to the bathroom.
Oh my God! Of course.
Share a bathroom.
Yes.
It's Wednesday! You know what that means? AEW Dynamite is live in Los Angeles at the fabulous Kia Forum.
All right, we're 2 minutes here. I'm going to give you the 5 in about 30.
A win!
Thank you.
So I talked to Tony last week, and he told me there's a plan. So I just got to trust him. You know, I trusted him before, and I became TNT champion 3 times.
Dr. Britt Baker should be better than me. Neck break. She's near fall. Let Saraya blow into the shot. Here's our finish.
I decide I'm not only going to hide in Tony's office, but I'll hide in Tony's bathroom.
Oh, shit!
She missed that table. She landed right on the floor.
Thank
you're okay?
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. To get to the bell in 2 and change so we can celebrate.
The kid looks
At this point,
Literally ready to throw up.
Let's do it.
At the ring.
Thanks, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you. This is it.
Let's go.
Oh, what's happening, guys? Welcome to it's Wednesday night. You know what that means. The first PWT live show, an eclectic PWT live show of 2025. I am your host, Phil Mark. I'm okay. It was just having a little Perry pack there off air. I am your host, Phil Marks, of course. We have a very special guest joining us today, which I cannot wait for. It's 2025. We made it. Yeah. Sorry for the new intro. I'm consider doing them that way from now on. Just joking. A botched intro, me rushing, trying to get on the air.
You what?
Yeah, I'm your host, Phil Marks. Yeah. Joining me tonight, I'm a good friend of the show. A way to kick off the year, January 1st. It's 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, did you have a fun time? I did. I drank a lot of beers. I sang a lot of karaoke. I ended up Ralphing up.
Stupid idiot.
All the super extra spicy appetizers and hors d'oeuvres and whatnot that I was indulging in. Had like a whole bottle of champagne to myself, and it had a great time though. So I'm excited for this. The streaming wars have begun. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Tony Khan in 2025 and take a look back at some of his greatest moments, just throughout time in general. What else? We're going to talk about that Raw that went down. That was just spectacular with, one aspect of it, a couple aspects of it. CM Punk and Seth primarily. We're going to go over those promos, play those. I'm not going to review all of Raw. Maybe I will. Just a quick freestyle one. I know you guys like that. It's a new year, though. Big things for PWT in the future. Make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/@prowrestletimes, right? We got over 1,500 subs there. We're headed to 2K. And that's just like the main podcast feed. You guys know that. But the main channel, youtube.com/@prowrestleclips. We are rolling into like 5.5K subs. So round of applause for you all. And then patreon.com/prowrestletimes. Hours of bonus content there that you won't get anywhere else. If you like to hear what I got to say about the draft, I'm going to check in with chat in 1 second. I'm also just doing a bit of, as you guys can see, Phil Marks bookmarks 2025, the first ever. You guys can see here I'm going viral for a Dave Meltzer tweet live on the air as we, this right before I went on. The last I looked at it was at like 600 likes. It is now at 1K likes, and it's amazing. So I've been spending my January 1st New Year's Day watching Netflix WWE content. So we'll talk about all of that in a little bit. Joining me now on the show is the one, the only, the awful one, Mr. Awful. Ladies and gentlemen, Awful Wrestling is here.
Yeah. Happy New Year, Phil.
Doing,
what's going on?
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too, man. I'm doing great. We're just kicking the show off. And yeah, dude, I was just telling the good folks that I've been indulging in, I'm watching WrestleMania 1, and that's what I was doing before I came on the air. And yeah, I'm going to watch all the WrestleManias and Royal Rumbles because they're all there. And I have a tweet going viral right now. I was just telling them as we speak about how, Dave Meltzer.
Oh, look at you.
Quote, there won't be much WWE back catalog on Netflix. Netflix today, here's every Royal Rumble ever. And that's just one thing. right? There's every Mania on there. I'm in Canada, so they've been promoting like, yo, on the 1st, you're like, there's just gonna be a whole catalog of shit. I don't know how it is in every country. I don't know how it is in America, but yeah, we're gonna talk about all that as we get into things. So Awful at Awful Wrestling is where you follow him, and you check him out on Toonie Talk Wrestling over on that channel as well. You guys already know. How was your New Year's Eve, dude? What'd you get up to?
It was quiet. You know what I mean?
Good.
I'm an old guy, so just chilled with the wife and the in-laws, and rang in the New Year, and then we all went to bed. It was a wrap after that. I mean,
old man.
We had already gotten twisted. Yeah, now come on now. We had already gotten twisted before, way before midnight. So you know how that goes. How was yours?
Man, it was amazing. I was just telling the folks here, I drank a lot, and I sang a lot of karaoke, ate a lot of good food, and it was an amazing time.
You do karaoke?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Okay. What's one of your favorite songs?
I did Detroit Rock City, went off pretty well. Yeah. So yeah, just things like that, Of course, Cody Rhodes was sang as well. And that's a shoot. No comment.
No comment.
Cody Rhodes theme? Okay. George Capture for $10. First super chat of 2025. In the last few years, AEW is becoming exactly what they hated when it all started. Well, we're going to get into that because the first segment we're going to do is AEW hot news, folks. I'm making the call today, and thank you so much for the super chat. And yes, dude, he's become the worst parts of TNA, little Tony Khan rather. And I feel like he's become or adopted the worst aspects of TNA, WCW, like all the companies that that haven't succeeded. I think he's adopted the worst aspects of all of those things and combined it into like the fucking Voltron of whatever shitty wrestling. I don't just shit on everybody, but
we're in year 6, Phil. I mean,
the training wheels of AEW.
The training wheels are off. And so now Tony's got to walk on his own. He's got to ride the bike on his own. And that's going to be a problem for him because he hasn't had a long-term success rate in order for him to gauge what works for him and what doesn't. Like it was a real roller coaster ride for him for like the first 5 years. And so now he may be panicking. He may be this may be the onset of just panic booking and just throwing things at the wall. And we'll see.
Yeah, dude.
It's a long year.
I saw you saying too, or I heard you saying something about Jeff Jarrett possibly becoming the booker. And
yo, dude, how about that? I mean, could you imagine? If that's the announcement tonight? Like, I'm just going to
major announcement.
Yeah.
So
Mark seems to think it's has something to do with an angle. And it probably does, more than likely. I was delusional tweeting at that point, but I mean, wow. I mean, it could be the start of something where he ends up backstage and writing by July. Who knows?
I'm a rider now, kid. That's what the announcement is. Rabid Wolverines LC Killer 17 for $5 says my New Year resolution will be embracing more of the grind, bruv. Absolutely do it. I'm gonna do it. Like I told you guys, I'm gonna go live on that Monday Netflix debut, and I think we're gonna just do live shows Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from now on. I really want to dive into this and embrace this grind even more, bruv. So I'm with you, and yeah, whatever your grind is, embrace it.
Yeah, before we go any further, Phil, I do want to congratulate you and your channel. You're a hard ass worker, my man. I mean, you're doing the podcasting. What is it, like 3 times a week?
Minimum.
Yeah.
And then I do like a run-in here and there too, and that's, you could consider it a podcast, but it's just like one topic that I'm gonna rant about.
That's some real dedication, man, and I gotta commend you. I mean, that it takes a lot of time. I mean, Lord, we all know like there's not enough hours in the day to do things that you really want to do, but the fact that you are able to turn that around and make podcasting possible for yourself and for the chat, piece of the chat as well. But I mean, you're doing a great job. I'm sure 2025 is going to be phenomenal for you.
Thank you, dude. I hope it is, man. I hope it is. I feel it. And I had JD acknowledging me a little bit the other day there. Little JD McBones, JD from NY.
Is it too soon? Is it too soon to cuss?
No, do you cuss whenever you want.
Okay. Fuck JD. Seriously.
I knew it was coming. Ew.
I mean, come on now. Why are people now carrying this man's water? And how can they listen to him for such an extended period of time? Like, his voice is fucking grating. It is absolutely grating. And then he blocked me, like he did the preemptive block when I had like 800 followers. I'm like, what's this fucking dork blocking me for? I got nothing to say about him. But now, I mean, since I see his name all over the Twitterverse, I'm going to go out and say it. I mean, he's a knucklehead. Do I think you should unfollow him and all the other dumb? No, you can do whatever you want. But I mean, fuck him. He's a turncoat for AEW. I mean, against AEW. And that was all a grift. In fact, I think one of his tweets or one of his comments said like, and lose out on all this, money that I could be making if I keep on dragging AEW through the mud. Come on now.
Yo, and that's what I got to tell you. So, of course, my opinion doesn't fully align with yours, but I did get the preemptive block, and then I got unblocked out of nowhere when he started saying the same shit I've been saying for 2 years. I'm almost on 2 years now. So it was like, all right. But I will say this, though, that kind of, because you guys will notice, too, Awful complimenting the work I've been doing on the channel. And you guys will notice I'll drop WWE videos that I know are only going to get 500 fucking views. But I do it because I think it's some shit that needs to be talked about. And I'll always do that. Ultimately, I'm not saying everybody's got to be like me, but yeah, I'm not going to like sway my opinion unless it's like how I truly feel. So I don't know. Like, the money's like whatever. He's doing phenomenal like live streams though that are just reaching enormous heights, and I just look at that and it inspires me. I go, I can get there. As far as like people flip-flopping on the hey man,
listen, I'm not going to.
I knew it was going to happen. I said,
I'm not going to hate on the man's grift. I mean, if he gets more followers and all that, it's a good thing for him. What am I going to dig into the man's pockets? But ultimately, if you were to ask me, I would say F him because, and again, he offers nothing for me. I mean, I can't be that detailed when critiquing AEW. I just can't, because a lot of it doesn't need that much detail. You don't have to go into the inner workings of how AEW is fucking up.
Yeah.
But,
well, here's the thing, though. That's what I do appreciate about JD, is that at least he knows his shit, and that's why I still watch all these fucking AEW shows, and they're driving me insane.
I don't know how you do it.
Thank God they got rid of Rampage, because I stopped watching that, and it was like I did feel bad, honestly. I was like, fuck, man, I talked all this shit forever that I never missed any AEW show, so I'm allowed to talk shit because I know what I'm talking about. But now I'm skipping Rampages, but it didn't really mean much because I still knew what I was talking about. Awful, maybe even more so.
Right.
So so I don't know, let's jump into some news, guys. We got some news. I guess there was a quick promo on JD there from Awful, but so I guess Elton John's song Saturday Night's All Right to Fight is returning as AEW Collision's opening theme for 2025. So it's a revolution. The feelings, man, 2025, he's not saying revolution, but it's the sentiment we're getting. Oh, this is going to be like last year. 2024 is going to be the new 2021. So he's doing more of the same, though, going back to something that worked at the beginning of Collision, but then they stopped using the song. Now they're going to bring it back. Why? Are they trying to revamp Collision? I don't know, but they're going back and doing more of the same, and they're really leaning into this, like, we need to do old rock songs and shit. And it's like, I don't know whether you like the fucking, I've said it before, whether you like the 2 Chainz and the Lil Wayne and all that for NXT or SmackDown or whatever, there's a reason they're doing it, and it's more relevant, it's more aligned with, what's in, I guess, what's hip to the youngsters today. They're Awful. What do you think of them bringing back the Elton John? No, I'm saying like in WWE, like people are mad that they're using Meg Thee Stallion and Lil Wayne for NXT and SmackDown and shit like that. But listen, that's more aligned with like what's in right now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly,
whereas in AEW, they're talking about Guns N' Roses and Elton John again. What do you make of this going into 2025?
This is what they call in television a hook. You know what I mean? You hook people in with these types of songs and that type of music because it creates that atmosphere. It creates that sense of, hey, there's something exciting and new happening here every week. Elton John is not going to be doing that with goddamn Saturday. No, it's not going to work. He'd have been better off really finding some young punk band that isn't worth much to do some rock out version of a Collision debut, of a Collision theme. I don't know what you do, but, thicken up the sound, thicken up the vocals, whatever you got to do to put them in a nice big ass studio, pay them, send them on their way. And now you've got an original song that you can put on your television and doesn't cost you much.
Hell yeah. So the Young Bucks, speaking of not costing much, but costing a lot. The Young Bucks here, okay? Terrible fucking segue. They've reflected on the 6th anniversary of AEW's official reveal in 2019 as they prepare for their return to New Japan and the Tokyo Dome. 6 years ago, we announced AEW on BTE with Tokyo Dome behind us. Now we return to the very place that this all started. See you back in Japan. And when I read this, dude, I was like, what a couple of chuckleheads, man. It's like, oh, hey, the 6-year anniversary of AEW. What's going on? Oh, man, we're going back to New Japan and doing the fighting for the tag belts over there again. Like, this company's just a fucking, it's so stupid. It's silly. It's a parody. It's like, what do you make of this?
It's in line with what the Young Bucks are all about. Cringe-worthy, two degenerate professional wrestlers. Why would you want to go back to Japan when you have got you've got a $2 billion company that you can rely on and show your face at? Listen, this is what these guys are all about. Just running away when the things get tough. I've noticed that whenever the ratings go down the toilet, these guys run for 4 or 5 months and then they make their big comeback and it doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
Yeah, they keep running away, dude. They did it too. That whole All Access reality show was based around them. Oh, we're kind of nervous because we're coming back after a while and blah, blah, blah. And it was after all that CM Punk shit. And it's just like, damn, man, you guys flee whenever the times get tough. And then they're going to go to New Japan. And I hate that everyone's trying to cope and go, well, it's a co-promoted AEW and New Japan show, so it is a return to AEW, but it really isn't. Like Kenny's return match that he did a worked shoot fight, like a real life fight situation. He did it with Gabe Kidd, and it's for New Japan. And then the Bucks are coming back for New Japan and all this shit. To me, it's ridiculous, and it just makes them feel secondary to themselves. Like Tony Khan is making his own shit feel secondary to like New Japan almost, when it's like, why are you
secondary, tertiary? It's like the third. It's like their third place right now. I mean, it's as cold as ice. And tonight, in their premiere on Max with their simulcast, somebody was asking me, like, am I going to be able to do ratings videos? Will they be accurate? I think they'll still be accurate. I mean, who is going to not watch on TBS but watch on Max? Like, I just don't understand that.
I don't know, dude. And I checked, so I went on my Crave. I have a subscription in Canada here to this thing called Crave, and Crave has these extensions. One of them is like Stars. That's what Heels was on. One of them is Max, HBO Max. I click on it. I look for AEW. No AEW here in Canada on whatever my version of Max is. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to get a Schmeegel Schmeem, I think, tonight. To throw just being honest, it's easier tonight to be honest with my setup tonight. So I don't know. Whitest Rabbit for $5 says Tony Khan spends more money on licensing old 80s rock songs than he spends on providing coherent healthcare plans for his talent. What a clown show. Or at least like the guidance. He puts more focus on old rock songs too than he does, give like guidance to the right doctors or whatever. You know what I mean? He talked all that shit. It's pie in the face. 2025. It's going to be more of the same way. Whitest Rabbit. And yeah, I mean, I'm not mad. Like once in a while, I said it on the other show. I was like, okay, you're doing war games. You license War Pigs. Okay, makes sense, right? I'm not like mad at that.
Right,
but
it's thematic.
Right, exactly. It's just like, but when he's doing this all the time, like, okay, November rain. Why? Because it was just November. And Tony was emo. I was feeling sad. Like, why did he do that? Welcome to the jungle for World's End. All right. Why? What? How did that like align with what the? He's just terrible at marketing. He really just doesn't know what he's doing.
And Jungle Boy wasn't even in the show, was he?
I don't even think.
I mean, was
in the building.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
Those Bear Bronson guys were nowhere to be found. No, are bears in the jungle? Maybe. Who knows? Either way, speaking of Canada networking, apparently USA Network in Canada. So AEW has a deal with USA Network in Canada. I burst out laughing. I've lived in Canada my whole life. I didn't know there was USA Network in Canada. So no, I'm joking. But anyways, they have CM Punk on the front cover. Happy New Year. So in Canada, the USA Network have Punk as the AEW Collision thing. So again, it's more of the same, you know? And or do you think this is like shiesty tactics? Like, do you think AEW's like use a Punk picture, or they okayed it, or what do you think?
They didn't deny it. Obviously, they didn't say, "Hey, scrap that picture," because the man's not in our company. They knew what they were doing. A few months ago, they did the same thing with Cody Rhodes. They tried to promote one of their Dynamites using Cody Rhodes as stock footage. And they use them like 5 or 6 times in the damn thing. So this is part and parcel what AEW does. They need all the publicity that they can get. And if it means using former talent like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes to do it, by God, they'll do it.
Absolutely. And so speaking of doing it here, Adam Copeland. And it didn't take long into 2025 for your boy Phil to tell y'all, told ya. But Adam Copeland said there are fun stories to be explored that will probably eat up 2 years.
Get the fuck out of here.
Precisely 2 years? Like, how would you know? That's fucking hilarious, for one. And two, what I tell you, motherfuckers, I was like, listen, he got hurt, so that's going to get tacked on. It's about 2 years he's out of there. I told you guys when he signed that deal, it's 2 years with an option. The most he'll be there 3 years. That seems about right. It seems to be. He's saying exactly 2 years. Boom.
Right.
So head of the curve again. And I don't know, dude. How the fuck would he know that these stories could eat up about 2 years? It sounds like he's putting
he thinks he's trying to run a bloodline scenario. Like, he sees that it is possible to have, money making storylines that stretch out for over, a year. And he's just trying to go Tony Khan and just saying if we play our cards right. Of course, this won't work because Tony Khan has ADHD and he can't look past the first week of his Dynamite, after he writes it. But yeah, this is Adam Cole. And who wants to see him come back after 2 years back in the WWE? Come on now.
I think what do you think the stories are in these 2 years here, Awful? Like, you think Edge and Christian kind of go at it some more, and then they tag again.
Him and Edge and Christian feud or whatever. Something happens. I don't know what that spark is, but Edge turns on somebody and joins with Christian Cage, and they run roughshod or whatever until the end, until the contracts run out. But I mean, what else can be done with him? You can't feud with Edge for 2 years. Like, you're giving the other talent no burn whatsoever. Like, you're just going to work with this guy for the next 2 years? Come on now.
Oh, come on now. Okay, so never forget, we have just some funny AEW moments, some funny Tony Khan stuff. We're going to circle back to it, actually. Here's Cody Rhodes on 2 Bears, 1 Cave. Now, how funny, too, because the other day on the live show, we're talking about Bert Kreischer, and we're fucking,
and how unfunny he is.
Yeah, people in the chat are like, yo, he's terrible. I was like, trust me, I know. But he was in a Instagram story with CM Punk, and I was like, how funny that the fattest, drunkest asshole and fucking CM Punk, the straight edge guy who works out every day, are hanging out at this football, whatever. So Cody Rhodes all of a sudden's on 2 Bears, 1 Cave. With Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura. Shout out, not to shit on them, but Bert Kreischer's fucking pretty cringe, bro. But anyways, he talks about AEW. He gets asked about it because if you remember, Cody and Bert Kreischer worked on the Go Big show for TNT or whatever. You remember that, Awful? It was like
hell no.
it was like America's Got Talent, but like the extreme version, and the
I
judges
do now.
were like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like who were the
It
judges?
came
Like
on after Dynamite, didn't it?
yeah, it was like Michelle Rodriguez, I think, and then like Snoop Dogg
Yeah.
and Cody Rhodes and Burt Kreischer or something. Anyways, so Kreischer asked him about AEW because they've actually been in contact and have been friends, I guess, quote unquote, text buddies, whatever, since. So let's hear what Cody had to say about gatekeeping in wrestling. Listens to PWT confirmed. Hello. But yeah, just no, I'm joking. Hey, it's the gimmick now. The fucking gatekeeping, the sickos, and just his time in AEW.
Wrestling has a bad habit, and this is in all companies everywhere, of not understanding we're in a bubble, guys. There's outside world.
Yeah,
there's
the bubble paradox. Hello, right? We've been talking about that here. The blue sky bubble paradox, right? I don't know why it's a paradox because it's just a funny word.
Multiple mediums of entertainment. Yeah. Don't be in a bubble. Like, don't be afraid to do a little crossover thing. Yeah, pure hardcore wrestling fans, they may not love it, but there's something on the show that's for them already.
Yeah,
and that was, I'm not bearing where I formerly was, but not understanding like.
Don't tell me what to do.
And that's like the point too. Meltzer says things like, "Oh, Nathan Frazier would be so great in AEW," and it's like, no, dude. The reason you like him so much, Dave, is because he stands out among everyone else on NXT because he's so fast or whatever you're marking out over. And that's what Cody's saying. Like, it's a pro wrestling show. Okay, there's already a bunch of shit for the sickos, right? You got to fucking do more than that, especially, or you don't have to, but if you're gonna talk shit and play all these key demo numbers and talk all this shit about challenger brands and Tony Khan, and Tony's gonna call people bald assholes, and it's in court. Don't tell me we're not challenging each other. It's in court. Tony Khan, if you're gonna do that for fucking the last 6 years now, going on 6, yeah, you gotta be willing to go out there and not just cater only to the sickos, which is all they've done ever. And I don't even think it's actually catering to them. I think it's only catering to Tony, but they're such sickos that it's like become a cult at this point, Yeah. That's what it is too. You notice these like AEW Defender or AIR Gold, they'll criticize AEW, but once they cross that line and criticize Tony Khan, then the sickos will go after them. You'll notice.
Oh yeah,
that, like, they're willing to let.
They treat Tony Khan as if he's a little 5-year-old child in a wheelchair, and he can't talk or move his hands and feet. That's how they treat Tony Khan. Like, he needs to be protected at all costs. There should be no one giving this man any sort of criticisms. And I think it's because a lot of those fans relate to him because he's an outsider. He's a loner. He's a social despot. I mean, he doesn't know really how to emote or he's kind of like me, just goes on and on and on. but the fact of the matter is that that's what they like that man because they remind them of a little retarded kid that is just helpless in the streets.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them too think that they can get jobs because they've seen like borderline fans get jobs.
Yeah,
and I think people are like, if I tweet enough, they'll hire me. I swear.
Shout out Andrew Baydala.
Exactly.
The power, the magnitude again of new eyeballs and of crossing over, and also I hate gatekeeping when it comes to what we do. That's one of
it too. God damn it.
The things I do really like about pro wrestling fans and sports entertainment, and I wish the locker rooms would feel this more. We welcome, please, if you've never been before, because I know, Tom, you're not a big wrestling fan.
This isn't true. I don't know where you've heard
this. There's some quotes out there.
No, I don't know.
So he's anti-wrestling there. Okay, good for him. Any thoughts on that awful, or we just keep it moving?
This is Cody Rhodes being Cody Rhodes, pure diplomat. I don't really care what he likes or doesn't like as far as like the gatekeeping in professional wrestling. Like, dude, tell us what was going on with you and Tony. I mean, that's what we're interested in. And I know that you give us. Go ahead.
Oh, go. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No. I'm looking forward to your question.
I was just gonna say, do you think his book comes out before yours, or?
It'll come out after mine. Because what I
After,
feel is going to happen, what's going to happen is that people are going to shut me out. I think I had a conversation with Dose a few weeks ago. No, sorry. Yeah, a few days ago. And I was like, dude, I feel like if things get worse for AEW, the competition for my book, people are just going to come out the woodwork with, titles of their own, and they're going to try to hotshot a book before me. I kind of feel that happening.
Yeah, well, theirs will be shittier, and people won't.
Half as funny.
And you'll have people like fucking me helping promote the shit out of it and things like that. You know what I mean? They'll just
you'll be helping me write it. God damn it!
Yeah,
all you guys.
I got you, bro. Hey. But JD, speaking of JD, we were talking about JD earlier, so he responds to Sappy here. So let's read what Sap has to say. He says, the Young Bucks wanted to lose the tag team titles in a squash to the Outrunners at one point. Fightful Select learned. They referenced this in their new interview with Tunnel Talk Pod. So again, this is just gossip and selling dick pills, according to him, right? That's according to him, not a professional. So can't take
Shout
that
out to the Waterhead.
Right. So JD goes, I want to preface this by saying, does it really matter? The company hasn't done a fucking thing with private parties since they won them. The tag team division is literally the worst it's been in 5 years, gabagoo, with no sign of change. The Young Bucks didn't lose the championships to the Outrunners. They should have. This would have legit blown the roof off whatever building they were in. The company is allergic to building new stars. The Outrunners got over on their own organically. If the company went any further with them and built them into a prominent team, this means they eventually would demand more money. Oh, Tony is going to shell out more money and build stars on his own dime, only for them to go elsewhere after they built their names in AEW. He takes this shit personally and is afraid to invest in anyone not nailed down to a major long-term contract. I guess, but JD's right. Basically, what he's saying in less words is that they don't pull the goddamn trigger, and the Bucks are always just sort of what Awful said earlier. They're dabbling when they're unwanted, and then they disappear when shit hits the fan. And basically, they should have put over Private Party earlier. I get it. Private Party beat them early, like in their careers. But as far as like the Bucks, it seemed like they kept the belts away from FTR when they shouldn't have. It felt like they didn't put the Acclaimed over when they should have. Like they waited too long, and that's more on Tony as well with the Swerve Keith Lee stuff. And then again with the Outrunners, it's like, well, they're just in an 8-man thing with FTR until Edge comes back, and now the Outrunners are where? They're chopped liver. It's just when really they could be losing the belts, and now in hindsight the Bucks want to claim, well, we wanted to lose to them in a squash, but then JD just sort of refutes that, and he's cooking here, I guess, right? Do you like what JD's got to say here, Awful?
I mean, I wouldn't have wrote a page worth of opinion to Sean Ross Sapp, but I'll just say quickly, so what if the Young Bucks wanted to lose the tag team titles in a squash to the Outrunners? That does nothing. That's not news to begin. Well, you know what? I take that back, because Sean Ross Sapp himself said he is not a peddler of news. He's a peddler of gossip. So
he's an unprofessional
I apologize for that.
Dick Bill Schiller.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Anyways, continue.
But yeah, I mean, JD is correct in the way that, he's going to be correct in refuting what Sean Ross Sapp. But my whole thing is like, I don't give a shit if the Young that's a fluff piece to make them look good. Hey, we were going to get these guys because we love the business and blah blah. Shut up, okay.
Saturday night. This is from at some X error ref MJ from NJ, of course. Hung out with me on the last live show. So Saturday night, PWT, Dose Evil, and Alt Jake takes on, discussed AEW's unique ability to continue to own goal themselves. It is a huge deal. It shouldn't be, or is it a huge deal? It shouldn't be. But when the AEW is struggling to combat negativity online, according to at least one Wrestling Observer whatever WOR, what is
Radio.
that? Wrestling radio. Thank you. I'm like, which is it? Live newsletter? Intern. It doesn't help when the most raw talent, FTR Dax, of course, is posting a graphic. Blah blah blah. Love you, MJ. Can't wait till you're back on the show. But basically, there's a poster and it says January 6th. Max Dynamite Fight for the Fallen debut, but really that's today on January 1st, and January 6th is when fucking Raw goes to Netflix, and then Dax Raw speech, FT Raw speech. Fucking,
and this isn't the first time that these guys have flubbed up the goddamn date on their their promotions. Yeah, like they remember the infamous Death Before Dishonor T-shirt in which the Young Bucks' wife got the date all completely wrong, and so your quality, your quality control has got to be more than 100% at this point, my friend. You got to be at 102%. You can't afford to make janky mistakes like this. I mean, I'm just now seeing this. You can't put that poster out. That's what I'm saying. Like, how many fingers is this crossing before it gets online?
And bro,
you know
it's in Dax's hometown tonight.
God damn.
And he shared
people would actually show up to the stadium on January 6th. That would be awesome.
It's insane, dude. It's fucking insane to me that there's no quality control in anything they do. Nope, I swear to God. Let's look at the attendance for this. I guess we have this is as of Asheville, North Carolina, Hara's Cherokee Center, 2,500 people, set up for 2,900 people. So
look at that stadium, Phil. Look at that goddamn thing.
Phil, I think you mean empty, right? No, you mean not filled. But yeah, dude, just how are people supposed to even, dude? It's in your hometown. If someone sent you that poster, how the fuck did Dax not go? Yeah, our shit's on the first, bud. Like, how did he not catch it before he shared it too? It's just silly.
Because it's overexcited, OCD. He had to get it out there quickly. He had to be the first, and this is what happens when you're first.
And speaking of hometowns, right? And this could be a first for Cincinnati, Ohio, Moxley's hometown, for AEW Maximum Carnage Dynamite. There's only 900 tickets sold, and it's set up for 1,500. That's Moxley, like their main heels fucking hometown, dude.
Right. He did no PR. I'm sure he's doing no press in Cincinnati right now. None.
Dude, 1,000 tickets.
I bet you there's no promotion going on in Cincinnati right now. Terrible.
Fuck, man. Miss October 30 says, Phil, we will throw hands if Jericho plays. We'll run those likes up, bitch. It ain't me. I'm kidding. Why does Moxley look sickly? Well, because he probably saw these fucking ticket sales here and went, oh, shit. I'm going back to New Japan, too, for a little bit. I'll see you guys later. Like, oh my goodness. Thank you for the super chat, man. And yeah, I don't know. Jericho playing is all upon all of your hands here. Mike Sausalais for $5 says 205 watching and only 57 likes. There's actually more like 270 to 280 watching because we're live on 2 channels. So 57 likes on which channel, I don't know. Oh, come on. That's not very fair. Yeah, chat, run those up. Try and get to 100 on both channels. Can we do that? I think we can.
Come on now, Eric.
Because we've ended a bunch of streams with like 80 or 90 on one and then like 150 on the other. So it's like we can definitely get there. Listen to your boy Mike Sausalais. Thank you guys. 900 sold. That isn't good. Yeah, no, definitely not. Right. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
No, it looks like it's a theater.
Yes.
Is that a theater? Okay.
It's like a theater setup. Lord. They do music there. It's like a music hall. Yeah.
Dude, I would have ran a high school before I ran a theater.
Why is that?
Seriously. Because just first off, I understand acoustically it's going to sound okay, but visually you're not attracting any attention. You can do a lot more with the ring in the middle, a small stage. In fact, I told you in the private chat, like I've got 9 production solutions that I think will change AEW around in 1 month, and they don't have to spend one red penny to do it.
Well,
it's one of those things.
Well, you have 9 production solutions. Do we chat? Do you guys want to hear Awful's 9 production solutions for AEW? I'm curious. Let's fucking do it, bro. Let's give him a little Let's give him a little jingle. We don't have a jingle here. We'll give you an explosion because we're about to drop bombs. Here's 9 production things they could fix per Awful Wrestling. Here, let's hear it.
9 solutions that they can do. You'll notice that I did not say creatively, because there's no way that things are going to be fixed creatively in a span of 30 days. So I just figured that there might be some production issues that they can correct and some innovative things that they could do productively to improve AEW in less than a month. Now, I'd love to hear your comments on this, Phil. Here's the first one.
Number 9.
Number 9. Close up the ramp and close up ringside. What I mean by that is that the staging around the ring, the space between the ring and the goddamn people is enormous. They construct that set as if Stone Cold is going to come down with the beer truck each and every week. You've got to tighten that space. You want people. I got a perfect example for you, Phil. ECW's One Night Stand.
Yes.
Think about when John Cena was coming down to the ring. Yep. Look how small that aisleway was. That's exactly what AEW needs to start doing. It's like the old adage: reach out and touch someone. You want to make your superstars or your talent feel like more believable as talent. More what's the word I'm looking for, bro? Bigger than life. Even though they're not bigger than life, but you want to have you want people crawling over you. That's the appearance that you want to show on television, that these are people that are going to smack you on the shoulder or whatever. And you can, and better than all of that, it doesn't give you it doesn't give the talent the ability to, to hot dog down the aisle. Because they got to get straight to the ring, and it just gives that more competitive nature. That's the first thing. Almost like Saturday night's main event, what they did.
Yeah, with the tunnel. It's like a UFC,
exactly.
UFC fight night, bro. Yeah, it makes it feel. Here's some guy in the chat. This guy Truth Rises says people trashing AEW just bandwagon jumpers. AEW wrestlers kill it every time. We are giving the most dead honest constructive criticism that you won't hear anywhere else. I'm telling you right now.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This will be the only time where I'm going to help out AEW, seriously, because I believe that this stuff will work. Now, based on history and how, number 8. I'm so sorry.
No. Keep going.
No more. Stop with the picture-in-picture. Kill it.
Yes.
Go straight to commercial. No more picture-in-picture, because what you're doing is you're literally sucking the life out of the match when you had this gigantic advertisement right in front of you. You can't focus in on a small screen like that. So just get rid of it. Do your advertisers a favor. Do your revenue a favor. Give them the time that they've paid for. Don't try to sneak your shit in there because we can barely see it to begin with. And then when you come back, there's still that air of excitement. If they know what they're doing productively in between breaks. You already know how that goes. Like, you want to rest the match, and when you come back, kick it back in high gear. Okay,
bro. In AEW, they do fucking table spots during commercial breaks. Miss October 30 for $2 says awful. I'm gonna throw hands at your mic again. Is it fucking up or what?
Yeah, let me know if it's fucking up.
Yeah. It might be popping a bit. I heard a little poppiness before, but if you guys are hearing it more on your end, maybe you can do just a quick unplug and plug or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Well, I'll just move away from my mic, I guess. Maybe I'm talking too loud.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right, well,
there you go. So number 7. Let's go.
Number 7. Fire Excalibur and Tony Schiavone. Fire them.
Yes.
Get rid of them. Put in Nigel McGuinness and put in Taz. Or like I've always said, back the Brinks truck up and find Joey Styles, whatever mountaintop that he's living in right now. But you have to show your talent. You have to show your audience. You have to show your potential customers that you're willing to shake things up. And you want to attract the youth. Tony Schiavone looks like a bum off the street that they throw on they throw a suit on this guy. Excalibur's no good because he rambles on and on and on and on and on over things that should be allowed to breathe. He doesn't do that. Fire them both. You save some money and you do a better job with Nigel McGuinness and Taz, in my view.
I fully agree. You got to at least shift it around. You got to at least shift around the commentary if you're not going to fire people. A little mic pop. Yeah, well, we'll try and fix that, guys. If you hear it, just let us know. I think it's better now. It's not registering too much on my end, but number 6 anyways, as we continue along here.
Okay, I heard Mark Henry talk about this one, and I totally believe it. He mentioned it in passing, but he didn't really go into it. But earlier ring setup and earlier walkthroughs. Do your quote-unquote rehearsals or walkthroughs earlier in the day. Mark Henry himself said in an interview, I don't know if it was with Chris Van Vliet or another fellow, but he said that he would like to see them produce their stuff earlier in the day. Instead of 4 o'clock and 3 o'clock, he was hoping that AEW would have their production start at 1 o'clock. Which is the time I believe WWE does the same thing. But those are the types of things. If you're trying to emulate WWE, you want to emulate something like that because it organizes your production crew. It organizes your staff. It organizes your cameraman, where they're going to be standing. You want to set markers for all your talent. You want to do all your in-ring rehearsals, your spots. You want to look over the match. This is the type of things that you need to be doing. If you're not going to be running house shows and you're only going to be working once time a week or twice a week, you want to do something like that. Okay,
that's amazing. Lucy Moody messages in. Tony Khan furiously taking notes right now.
I hope so.
I hope so. Okay, sorry. So number 5. We need
number
Sank.
5.
Number 6.
It could be in line with number 1, but stop the double ramp. One singular ramp. No good guy or bad guy. Yeah, excuse me. I'm sorry. Stop the double tunnel. Stop that mess. It truncate your entire stage. Break that thing down to a singular entrance so that it gives your talent, that singular focus. No one actually at this point, no one cares who's coming out of which tunnel. And there's no indicator that even says to people like, hey, this is the bad guy's tunnel. This is the good guy's tunnel. Get rid of it. Save yourself some money on some space.
I agree with that, and I will add to that a little bit. It adds, like with the heel and babyface tunnels, it adds this extra layer of possible like storytelling or intrigue or nuance that could be there with these characters that Tony Khan is not equipped creatively to fucking utilize properly. So just get rid of it. If he was doing it right, sure, but it's a great idea if you're going to do it right. It's a good throwback if you're going to do it right, but he doesn't know what the fuck how to do that right. So just get rid of it. I agree.
If you took a look at the Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance on Noah, I didn't see the show or anything like that, but I saw clips. Their staging is very basic, and there's not a lot of lighting going on. In fact, they kind of keep the mood dark. Maybe it was just for his entrance, but I've also seen that with Mercedes Moné when she was working out.
Omos.
Yeah. It's like there's a certain. That's a good one. No, that works. But yeah, I mean, so you can just mute, just turn down the staging, okay, and quit with the double ramp. Number 4. You've got to slow down the fucking action. Let moments breathe in your television show. Okay. Now, in order for you to do that, you got to have your announcers, with a script in front of their face. They might have a production run on a piece of paper, but as far as like moments that happen, this goes back to the earlier rehearsals. You want to highlight the things that are most important to the match. I don't believe they do that because, as you know, Phil, you do the show during the show. They run through everything. They let nothing breathe. Coming up tonight, it's going to be this and that, and this, that, and the other. And right now, we're going to go backstage for Renee Paquette. No. Dude, slow everything down. You know what I mean? If slowing down things ultimately means that you're going to have 5 matches total that night, fine, so be it. But make sure there are 5 good matches and make sure you know how to write them correctly. All right. What is this?
2?
Yeah, number 3.
3. Okay.
This one is innovative. This is something that WWE is not doing. And I thought of this and I was just like, I think this could work.
Okay.
Put the talent's names or face on the lower third chyron the entire time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Phil's got a lower third chyron going right now that says PWT Live. That's a chyron. You put that at every match on every minute of the match so that when a passing viewer, somebody who's a non-fan, goes and clicks on AEW and sees, he at least knows that skinny guy right there with the long string of hair is Adam Cole. And the guy right there with the mask is Luchasaurus or whatever. Don't get rid of the Chiron. Right. Keep it there the entire match. Don't make it obtrusive to the match. Put it on maybe on the top right or whatever. But they do it in football. They constantly have the score up. So why not put a little face of Adam Cole, have his name there, put a little factoid, just like what we're doing right now with this live stream, George Captor, and you know what I mean? Like the whole thing. You have that stuff on there. It won't cost you a penny, and it will at least give the passing viewer an idea of who at least they're looking at.
I agree with you. And also the UFC, like MMA, does that. And you think about it like this too. Let's say the Chiron's running, and then at one point it also says like earlier Bobby Lashley something, and you're scrolling through as a fan, and you might see a name that you're not used to, or like that you're used to seeing in WWE, or let's say, right, you see Bobby Lashley and you're like, what the fuck, Bobby Lashley's on this show, and that could work too, just seeing the name written out, like, oh, I don't know. I agree with you. That's a very great idea, very innovative. No one's doing that. WWE's starting to use more elements of that here and there, but if they just have it throughout the whole show, at least throughout every match too, makes perfect sense to me. Awful. That's another brilliant one. None of these have been misses.
Oh, thank you. One of your chat members said, "Awful. Can they energy and have damage bars too?" Yeah, if they want. I mean, listen, it might attract the 6-year-olds or 7-year-olds. Who knows? I'm not really sure, but you want to attract that non-fan. This stuff, I think, would work with the sickos. I think they would have no problem with some of these new elements. Anyway, number 9, every angle in the entire company needs to, I don't know if this is really production, but every angle needs to be expressed to be orbiting around the AEW belt and not around the company's perception or feelings about the company. No more talk about friendships unless I need your friendship in order to get closer to the AEW belt. I need your companionship in order to get to the tag titles a little quicker. You see what I'm saying? That's how you create the storylines as far as creatively, but every single one, and not to mention, we haven't seen that goddamn AEW belt in weeks. Did we even see it on the pay-per-view last Saturday?
I don't know, man. Like, it just feels so secondary and meaningless now.
Yeah,
and
they don't
I
show
agree
it.
with you. Like at the beginning of AEW, that belt really felt like a prize. Like Jericho was keeping it from everyone, and it was like, okay, it worked. And then now it just seems like a secondary, like it's been thrown around. We've seen Punk spray one with an X and carry it around in a bag, and we've seen I mean, it's just a meaningless belt now, and it
Show
sucks.
off that fucking belt.
Yeah,
I think the champions of the University of Illinois, the guy had it around his shoulder. It looked great. He has profiled that championship more than John Moxley has in the last 3 months. It's incredible.
Yeah.
The damn thing's locked away in a suitcase right now. Like, that shouldn't be. Highlight your championship.
Yeah, everything should revolve around that fucking belt, but instead it always revolves around like, well, here's the Continental belt, and here's this other belt, and here's the Ring of Honor belts, and again, they just make themselves feel second important. Was that all of them? Was that all 9, or
actually,
one more?
10. I've got 2 more. All right,
number 1.
This one, I think everybody's going to enjoy this one.
Okay.
A company-wide directive to unblock all social media accounts, retweet and quote tweet AEW postings at least twice a week. This is for all of their talent. Unblock everybody you know. I don't give a shit if they made fun of you or not. Unblock them, ignore them, and I need you to retweet our stuff, our Dynamite, our Collision advertisements at least twice. If you're not doing that, you're in big trouble. Now, could you imagine, Phil, if every AEW talent out there were to do such an easy promotional tactic as that?
I mean, it would take not a lot of effort to do, and it's something that they've received a lot of criticism for, especially in the later part of 2024 from people like MJ from NJ as well. If you remember, Swerve called him a hoe, like unblocked him to call him a hoe, then blocked him again. And I don't know.
Your
so I
talent's
just
got to have thick skin, man. You know, they can't
gotta
be blocking.
Promoting.
Right. You can't block Pro Wrestle Times. You can't block George Captor. You can't block the death of AEW and expect to really grow your audience, because we come with some cachet too. It's not a lot, but there are people that appreciate what the work that we do, the things that we're doing, and they may want to check out your product, but you have literally shut them out by blocking them. Your talent has shut them out. Like, you can't have that. You just can't have that. Oh,
Chad Thundercock. No, it's all right, man. Chad Thundercock in chat says, also, more social media training for the wrestlers. Ricochet is telling fans to suck his D before he was even a heel.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Chad Thundercock is outraged by someone saying, suck my D, bro. And Chad Thundercock, we definitely agree with you, bro.
Yeah.
We need to be less outrageous.
If I were Tony Khan, Ricochet would have got a $5,000 fine. And I'd have put that shit up in the locker rooms. Ricochet just got fined $5,000 for this tweet. Make sure you don't do it again. But you'll notice something, Phil. You'll notice that this takes a set of balls to do, and Tony just doesn't have it. So
come on.
I do have.
Yeah.
I've got one more thing.
Oh,
you've got to excite your. It's the last one. You've got to excite your audience in the arena. How do you do that? Every big star that you've got comes out around 6:45, 7 o'clock, and they cut promos in the ring live to the people in the audience. They talk about what they're going to be doing tonight or whatever. So essentially, you want to do a promo class without the audience knowing of all the stars that are going to be there tonight. You warm up the crowd. You might have a match or two, but make sure it's a good match. But I don't think they're doing that. I think their show, they're just waiting till 7:59. They'll start the show, and that's that. You didn't warm up your crowd. But those are the 9 things or 10 things actually that I believe that AEW could do. Go ahead.
What do you mean awful? Fucking Tony Khan went out there and yelled at them about Time Cop for 25
Yeah, but
minutes.
that's not good. That's not good enough. See, that's not good. You're better off having John Moxley go out there and cut maybe like a 10-minute promo with all of his guys or whatever. Heat the crowd up. Make them excited for 8 o'clock to come rolling around. Tony Khan's not the guy to be doing that. He's just going to pat himself on the back, tell you about the next Dynamite, which is in some city they don't give a shit about. You don't do things like that. Cater to the audience in the arena first.
Well, everyone, round of applause for Awful's 9 or 10 with a bonus one. Things that he does amazing. So we were talking about the Young Bucks earlier, and the Young Bucks talk about how they fooled fans that they were washed as wrestlers, working boring matches with their EVP gimmicks on purpose. This is what they said. Okay? That they fooled fans into thinking they were washed. And I called this out immediately, and I was like, this is bullshit, because they came back, stole that kid's move from the indie where the one Buck does a front flip on the guy on the ropes and he bounces off and the other guy catches him into a sitting power bomb. They're not doing moves like that to try and work everyone into thinking they're boring wrestlers. This is the biggest cope lie sesh. These guys have only LOL'd and lolcowed and memed themselves into fucking oblivion, bro. Just like Tony Khan, like everyone who fucking goes there, there's something in the water. I don't know if these Bucks have always been like this. I think this is why Jim Cornette, when he knew that Tony Khan was like, no, it's got to be the Bucks and all, he knew then. He's like, it just won't work. A lot of people, I think, know this or knew this from being around these dudes. I'm sure Cody Rhodes has some sense of it. He's talked about a little bit. I can't wait to see what everybody's books come out, and they'll all be different, And all I'm saying is that this is bullshit. They were trying to do the move I just described. They were trying to be relevant. They were trying to be in this fucking thing, but like Awful said, they just run away when the times get tough, and now they're literally coping and lying and saying that they fucking were purposefully pretending to be washed and fooled fans into making them think they were washed. Because what?
But Phil,
why would you do that?
let's get real, bro. Yeah. Like, why do you even elaborate on such a thing like this if people noticed? You know what I mean? Like this is what I'm talking about with the Young Bucks. Nobody notices their shit. Okay, nobody notices what they're doing. Nobody cares what they're doing. And so later, like right now, they're going to tell her, hey, guess what we did? Yuck, yuck, yuck. We were fooling fans into thinking that we were washed up as rest. Okay, but it made no effect. In fact, it drove people away. So your boring gimmick that you tried to work everybody into, it actually worked. It ran people off.
And listen
You're
to this
dumb.
shit. They go, when we did the EVPs thing. What do you mean you're EVPs of the company? What do
That's
you mean
what I'm talking about.
Like, what the fuck? We were like, yeah, let's just have really boring matches. What? Why the fuck would you do that? Let's stop doing all the super athletic moves that get the big reactions. Except for no, because you added athletic moves like the one I described where Will Ospreay tagged you in that indie guys move. You guys copied it, but added a swanton bomb to the combination of moves. So no, you were inventing new ones to do. You motherfucking liars. You know, I can't. This shit to me is
These
crazy.
guys didn't even. These guys are so stupid. Like there's a way of doing a boring match. There's a way of doing a match.
Stupid idiot.
Like Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko would like go into the ring, right? Try to take a shot on somebody, get asked out. He'd run outside the ring and then like circle the ring for like 20 seconds and heat the crowd to a fever pitch. That was quote unquote boring wrestling, but it was effective because it brought people into the match. These guys are so retarded. They thought that like, oh, we're just going to put somebody in a headlock, or we're not going to do flips, and we're just going to bore the crowd. They bored the crowd so much they turned the channel. Retards. God, I hate them. I hate the Young Bucks.
He goes, Nicholas says, I've stopped doing dives for maybe 8 months. I didn't do a tumble out to the floor for about 8 months. And that was
boy, we really
purpose.
missed that shit, didn't we?
We literally wanted people to think, are these guys not athletic anymore? Are they just boring wrestlers now? No, bro, they think you're boring with all the flips and shit you do already, dude. Matthew.
And you're actually they're trying to justify their laziness. It just dawned on me. This is what they're doing, justifying their shitty, lazy wrestling.
Oh, man. Matthew goes, one thing that really pissed me off was someone said, I thought the Young Bucks were washed. And I was thinking, oh, come on. You guys fell for the gimmick that we were doing. We didn't forget how to wrestle out of nowhere. Come on. Don't be dumb.
Oh, God.
These guys. Liar! Fucking lying. They're just coping so hard, bro. Amazing. And if they think that, no, because it's just we could break this down in kayfabe or IRL why this is stupid. What the fuck they're saying, because they're still EVPs. So where's this gimmick change? So they're just going to come back as the saviors is what's going to happen. And are they just stooging it right now? We were doing the EVP thing, but when we come back, you know, after the New Japan match, it's like, is it like what the fuck?
We broke the owner's neck.
Yeah,
you know, we tried to take over the company. It killed the ratings flat, and so we ran off to Japan.
Plenty of Pixar for $2 sends a face. Yeah, that's the face I make when I'm fucking reading the Young Bucks, dude. Jesus. Plenty. And shout you out, brother. It's good to see you here. Pete in Texas for $5. Our newest mod as well. Oh yeah. Happy New Year, PWT. You know what that means. Ichi ni san da. Chat, everyone. Get your red scarves.
Ichi ni san da.
That's the Inoki call for fucking, you know, Tony Khan tried to let Inoki's grandsons and like
right.
Fucking, yeah, Inoki's favorite saying Ichi ni san da.
Drop this picture on the table.
Thank you. So Top Dollar and Baron Corbin were backstage at AEW's World's End yesterday. I really hope they signed so I can. This is neckbeards, by the way, so I can watch the same AEW fans who said they were the worst wrestlers around now praise them. I don't know. I mean, yes, if Top Dollar and Swerve linked back up, I mean, it worked, but he re-signed with TNA actually, and Corbin officially, as of today, announced like his contract wasn't renewed, and they just like sent him home pretty much, and they just told him like it won't be renewed. We don't need to use you, but they paid him until his contract was up. WWE did, and then it expired, and now he's just a free agent. So
yeah,
that's
don't do it, Tony. Don't do it.
don't bring in Corbin.
No more signings. In fact, freeze, put a moratorium on signing anybody for the rest of the year. You've got to build stars, my idiotic friend.
Yeah, I want to see some releases this year, Tony. I want to see some cold-blooded
How
where
about
people
that?
are like, what? That's not the Tony Khan we know. I want to see like in April, like a fucking round of Vince McMahon style cuts, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Just one of them. Show us one time ever you can do it after 6 years, man. Like, and I don't want to see people lose jobs, but here's the thing. If they were fucking, how do we word this? If they were worth a damn, they would be fucking, they're gonna be somewhere else. And you know what I mean? And I'm not shitting on anyone by saying that. Like, okay, hold on. This is the song playing for Dynamite. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. No, that's the song they have for Fight for the Fallen on Max, the debut on Max. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I want. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I gotta look it up.
Oh my God in heaven!
Song. Who sings that again? Pointer Sisters. Yep, you're spot on.
Wow.
Dude, that is hilarious.
Hold on, let me get on the
And
pirate
now
ship
they're
here.
starting it. They're starting this Dynamite the way that WWE starts theirs, with like champions and wrestlers walking in the building type thing. And now they're promoting the trios match that's in the main event, I believe. And they're calling it Fight for the Fallen, the mother of all simulcasts. You could not be any cringier. Oh my God. It's so cringy, bro. You know, I just, the mother of all simulcasts, bro, that's not like no one cares, you know? Hurt Syndicate versus the Acclaim tonight. We got Cassidy versus Paige to kick off the show. So matches are on, guys. I guess we got a $5 super chat from STG212. I want to see releases so the Marks tried to defend Tony Pecan. The best guys, Tony. The best pies, Tony Pecan.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Thank you so much, dude. Happy New Year to you too. Good seeing you here again. And yes, exactly. I want to see the cult be like, no, they deserve to be released or whatever. I'm just going to say this about Corbin. Don't bring him in, and top dollar. If he linked up with Swerve, that could be cool, but he re-signed with TNA, which is what, I mean, you had Chris Connor predicted that, and a bunch of people probably did. I mean, he's going to make good money there, and he's been helping them, and they're going to be doing pay-per-view buildings the size of AEW in 2025. So, fuck it, you know, just stay there, make your money there. So with pictures of FTR's gear over the years here in AEW, FTR stands for Find the Relevance, because all they've done the last few years is siphon heat from Axe while not evolving whatsoever. So CMFTR, right? You see it here, and then you have the rated FTR, and then you have the fucking FT Runners as well, which died after like 2 weeks.
Wow,
no, dude. And they were like an 8-man tag team for like fucking 2 weeks, and then Edge came back, and Tony Khan's like, well, that's the end of that. Glad I printed all these shirts, and we're selling them now because it's not even a team anymore. That's great. Fucking craziness. But yeah, dude, FTR's just sort of linked with everyone, and they haven't since the whole Briscoes feud. It feels like they haven't really stood on their own, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
imagine, Phil, this is what I'm talking about right now. I don't know if you're watching the show or not, but imagine it's 8:00, you know, it's 4 minutes into the show. You're a casual viewer. You're flipping through channels, whatever it may be, and you see this. It looks like everything else that you'd see on television. I'm talking about the backstage promo that we're seeing right now with Jon Moxley. There's nothing interesting about the shot.
Yeah, so they had Okada come out with his title, or like he's walking in, sort of like Kevin Owens would on a SmackDown or whatever. No. This was before any of the Moxley stuff.
Okay.
Then they went to the Moxley stuff, and it was, again, like you said, more of this Moxley shit we've seen for a while now that kind of hasn't been working. Not kind of. I mean, you can sort of measure that.
Hasn't been working.
And then we go right to rated FTR, which, I mean, they're over dudes. They cut a good little backstage promo, but their backstage area looks so shitty too, in my opinion. But looks like cheap B movie shit. And then we go right into Orange Cassidy. So to me, dude, this is what I mean. It's more of the same. We're starting the year more of the same. We're on Max. It's more of the same, and it's not going to change, you know? And I do appreciate they try to go a little WWE-ish with like, here's Okada, and then here's a vignette, and then we'll go into a promo. But they're about to have a fucking 20-minute meaningless match. And it felt like all that stuff was sort of stuffed in there. Awful said earlier, you got to let things breathe. It'd be nice to have that promo and maybe give it time to breathe, or see the vignette and give it time to breathe, or have it lead into whatever the next thing is that's going on, you know? But yeah, again, more of the same we're noticing from AEW in 2025. And I just have no interest in this Cassidy match. I got to be honest.
I'm watching Orange Cassidy come down to the ring. It's so boring. How no one's saying anything, and he looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. These are not the images. This is not the visual that you want your company to be showing on Max.
Yeah, dude.
God damn. Orange Cassidy, ratings killer. Your first segment, you've just made a huge mistake.
Dude, he's always done that. So what the sickos used to say too, like a year ago, I used to talk about it on the show a lot. They would say like, no, Cassidy's proven to be one of the highest rated guys. But I'm like, no, that's because they stick him in the first segment with the overrun.
Yep.
So he gets that little boost, but then look at what he loses. Like, so you mean to tell me he's the highest rated guy, but then 250,000 people stop watching him? That's fucked, man. That's not a good thing. So Vulcan 280 for $5 says Tony Khan's favorite time of the year is WWE cuts. He is able to get the hottest new toys on the market. Yeah, it's like when I was a kid in the 90s. I was gonna say we were, but fucking awful's a dinosaur. When I was a kid in those Batman the animated series,
you're a bastard.
Toys would drop, and you got the and you had to get the set, dude. And you're like, oh shit, what can Batman do this time? Can he use the ice Batman? Is he parachute Batman? Plenty in Pixel Art for $10 says, here's how to word it. Tony Khan and the Bucks do not deserve to make money with what they're doing. I support their roster. I do not support their management, bro. Also, high awful. Yes, of course. Plenty, and you're absolutely right, bro. Like that's what it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fuck with the management at all. Yes, I'll shit on the wrestlers like as much as I've shit on Nia Jax, as much as shit on Orange Cassidy, as much as I've shit on any match I don't like or whatever. But like the boys overall, it's not that I don't think they could, like, it's not like Hangman's not a good wrestler if he is booked properly or applies himself or is given interesting opponents or whatever. And this shit was presented better. So yeah, I agree. It's just the creativity and the management are the.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you're watching, but they have a nice. It's almost like a bird's eye view of the ring.
Yeah,
that I've not seen AEW do before. Kudos to them. It's something different.
Exactly. They're starting to implement more of the. Yeah, just more of the droney around the ring. And again, the up above, like they're playing with stuff. I just don't like the white ropes. I wish they had their own identity too. I just feel like it looks so WWE-ish. Like
they used to have red ropes.
Not even red, bro. I think they should use gold ropes, or like a one black, one gold in the middle, and one black bottom one. I would have the middle rope.
So you want them to be NXT? Gotcha.
No, but like gold, not yellow, like gold. And now NXT is platinum, right? So you go like with a dark gold, like their logo. And what you do is you do the top row black, the middle one gold, the bottom one black, and then you put the AEW logo on the mat again. And that's what I would do differently if it was me. Or they talk all the time about the blue league and the gold league, and you can tell Tony kind of likes like blue is there. You know, it is like a color he kind of implements and stuff. So then I would do like one show has gold ropes, one show has blue ropes if you have Collision or something like that. I'd try to make it look different than WWE. I just feel like with the color of their mat, they don't have their logo there anymore, and then it's just the white ropes. To me, I'm like, why would they want to look like how every WWE show looks like right now with the white ropes and shit? I just don't get it. Yeah. Anyways, though, I agree with you, Plenty, and you couldn't have fucking worded it better. It's just the management and the creative. Lincoln Hawk for $10 says, whoever said TK is obsessed with small guys in the same way Vince was obsessed with huge guys was so spot on. He's living out a passive-aggressive Napoleon complex. Awful, what up? Join the Discord. Yeah, dude, I agree. Yeah, someone throw the Discord link in there for whoever wants to join. Lincoln Hawk, what up? But dude, I agree. It's like him living out this fantasy of like, I'm the size of Cassidy and I'm 40 as well. He could be world champion, you know. Like, I swear, bro. I swear. 'Cause it's like, why Garcia? You know, if they had a junior heavyweight division, this shit would work. But ultimately, you know, I can't get behind Garcia like going to the limit with fucking Benjamin or whoever. We've harped on this. Everyone says the same old fucking thing. It's an old take, but it's just the truth. It's just the reality. And yeah, I swear you're right about that too. It's Tony Khan living out this fantasy of like, I'm a skinny guy, you know, and like I could beat these guys. I've always dreamed of this type thing. I truly believe that too. Awful. What about you? Do you think it's something like that, or do you think he's just having fun playing with toys?
No. I think he hit the nail right on the head. I mean, he has a favoritism for smaller guys because they favor him. He looks like one of them. And if he was just a little bit taller, you know, a little bit bigger, he'd probably, I'm telling you, he would be in that wrestling ring right now. In fact, he was in the wrestling ring, didn't make a damn. So,
thank you so much, Lincoln Hawk. And then George Capture, the top mod of the top pod for $5 says, as one of the senior members of PWT, I appreciate Awful. Yeah, we love Awful over here.
Oh, thank you, man. By the way, Orange Cassidy and Adam Page have been outside this ring for at least a whole fucking minute.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I will say, the match does look slowed down. It's almost as if they heard you.
Yeah, dude. I swear they listen to PWT, like, dude. Confirmed.
Yeah, but you know, so far the for those who are not watching, I'm sure there are a lot of you that aren't watching. It looks colorful. It looks very bright.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the one thing I've been harping on forever. Yo, your shit looks dark and gloomy and shitty. Fucking make it bright and vibrant like NXT and make it look like a place that people want to be at, not somewhere they're trying to avoid, you know? Speaking of trying to avoid, Mikey Ruckus gives some advice for what some wrestlers or talent in the wrestling business should try and avoid, I believe. So Mikey Ruckus says some advice. This guy makes the beats for all the AEW theme songs, by the way. He says,
he did pretty good with the Ricochet theme song. That's for damn sure.
If you're vying for a job, there are tactful ways to present yourself as the best candidate without burying the people who are already there. You're not the savior or the answer. You'll be sitting at the table with those same folks as a team working toward one goal. So I don't know if that's a shot at Ricky Starks or one of these other guys, but I don't think AEW operates like a team working towards one goal. I think that's more of a WWE thing. But yeah, shut up, I guess.
Shout out Ruckus. Some of the people will be like, shut up and make beats.
Yeah. So Gabe Kidd, New Japan's Gabe Kidd says, what kind of a company co-promotes a show in the Tokyo Dome and doesn't advertise or mention the match of their biggest star coming back from the brink of death on pay-per-view the week before? Laughing. The answer is one with a butthurt little rat at the helm. Cry more, pussy. And that's Gabe Kidd going off on Tony Khan and Kenny Omega and AEW. Now, he is working the work, shoot work angle. We've been chronicling it here at PWT. However, this is rank, like, you know, Tony don't like this shit, you know? And Gabe Kidd also recently called out Randy Orton when people were saying, like, Fletcher and Ospreay are better than Orton. When that debate was going on in the IWC, Gabe Kidd just tagged Orton and was like, come fucking get it in New Japan, pussy, or whatever. You know, he's like, bring your ass here and I'll fucking. So, I don't know, man. Shout out Gabe Kidd, and I like what he's doing. And if you do follow his shit, his matches, he is a solid pro wrestler that I think WWE will love to have one day. Do you have an opinion on this tweet and or
I
Gabe
do.
Kidd? Yeah.
And see, this is my conspiracy theory, but you know how this goes. Cue the music. It's
yeah, you do know how this goes here at PWT, bro. Truth is out there,
dude. Gabe Kidd, Tyson, what the fuck? Gabe Kidd and Tony Khan, they have their right after these tweets go out, they call each other up and go, how'd that go? You know, what do you think of this one? That's the problem with the wrestling business is that, sure, listen, I believe what the man is saying on the tweet is correct and accurate and true. But the thing is like, I don't think Tony's affected by it because I believe he's He's the one telling Gabe Kidd and you know, maybe you should say this in the next tweet, you know, and really try to shoot on me and all that, because this is what Tony Khan does. Remember, he comes from that whole generation of knuckleheads that were on those old wrestling forums, nerds. But yeah, I believe that there's a fifth layer to this, and Gabe Kidd and Tony Khan are actually friendly and affable with each other, and that they're talking about this whole shit and thinking that they're getting away with one on all the marks out there. That's all.
I could totally see that being the case as well. They're awful great assessment. Apparently the Jaguars fan base thinks the franchise is a joke, win or lose. So, you know, Tony's getting it in all angles here. How do the Jags possibly have it where their own mascot can get knocked out by the other team? Unserious team, LMAO. Be serious, Jaguars. Hope you see what a joke this team has become. Tony Khan tagging Tony in this, and his logo is fucking Jaguars with a clown nose. So for all you sickos out there who don't watch other fucking sports, see, here it's happening in other sports too. He's a goober everywhere. Is it just a coincidence? Are they piling on because they're e-drones who just don't, or are they Jacksonville Jaguars, or are they NFL drones? What's the excuse here? What's the cope here?
Yeah, who don't feel like they want to pay for a stadium with a losing goddamn team on their in their city.
Bro, Tony runs analytics for Jackson, barely runs his own promotion any better. LMAO, why are you trying to cry to him? And then this guy goes, you should see how bad their wrestling company is, AEW, Tony Khan. And this is like an honest Bears fan. That's a fucking Bears fan, dude. That's all I'm saying, man. It's just, and the Fulham as well. We've played it on the show. There's Fulham fans mad all the time. Here's Forever Botchamania. Shout out Matthew Gregg, one of the legends, one of the GOATs. This is something that happened with Tony Schiavone. We were talking about earlier, you know, scrapping Excalibur and Schiavone. And his phone's ringing on the air. And I quote tweeted this and I said, look, if this happens once and it's like a funny exchange between Graves and Michael Cole because it never happens, okay, then it's funny and cute and coy. But the fact that Taco Bell commercials air in the middle of vignettes and fucking the lights go out in the middle of matches and fucking the television feed cuts out when Brody King takes a back bump on the outside of the fucking ring or whatever. It's like all of these things. And then you got Schiavone's phone fucking ringing with Excalibur and they're laughing about it. I don't know. This is on the World's End kickoff. They're at a fucking pay-per-view, the last one of the year. We got phones ringing on the air. Let's take a look at this, see if you guys can hear it.
Truth Magnum desperately needs to make a tag. I had to guess. I don't think he'd be picky about who he's tagging in. As
y'all hear that? It's great.
Barely.
That's all right.
Oh God!
Now Brian Cage.
See,
Turbo Floyd, eager
What's
to
that?
make the tag.
They think that there is a genuineness in like breaking fourth walls or like pulling back the curtain on things that are happening. As a professional company, as what you said, with all those mistakes, the last thing you should do, Excalibur, you dolt, is bring attention to something that had no business being in the production of the show in the first place. Don't call attention to it.
Yeah, Excalibur, you ain't Deadpool,
he's
bitch.
He's an idiot. Yeah, he's
you
dumb.
ain't Deadpool, bitch.
Yeah.
It's because you wear a motherfucking mask. Don't mean you Deadpool, motherfucker.
Golly.
As much as eager as Tony Schiavone was to answer his phone as the Wolverine.
See, Nigel gets it.
But not even, because what you just did in that one little exchange is taken away from the match that you should be calling. Okay? Mute Tony Schiavone's mic, let him answer the phone or fire him right then and there, and let Nigel and Excalibur take over, and then after the match, fire Excalibur. I don't know what you do, but you don't call attention to the mistakes.
What did Lois want?
Want to know what's for dinner tomorrow night? Oh, watch this. Look at
And so they're saying he answered the phone and fucking they're like, what did Lois want? And he's like, what's for dinner tomorrow night? And I get they're joking, but it's like you're making your dinner tomorrow seem more important than the fucking match going on in the ring.
That couldn't happen 20 years ago, Phil. You know goddamn good and well, if one of those wrestlers had gone back and seen their match and they heard that shit on commentary, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
I just did a 450 splash off the top rope. You're talking about what's for dinner? Fuck you.
Yeah, dude. Some STG 212 for $5 says, I prefer listening to the talking here than watching AEW right now. Yeah, well, Hangman Page just scored the win over Cassidy, and I don't know. It was what it was. Cassidy's finish there is like a modified backdrop. You know, he just lazily puts them down, and I don't know. Hangman seemingly going full-blown. If he thought he was a tweener, he's like full-blown healing on Cassidy here, beating the shit out of him after the match. So I guess they're finally taking some of my advice here and fucking really defining if someone's a heel. You can't have 42 tweeners. You know, it just doesn't work.
Right.
Thank you so much for the super chat. We're seeing multiple reverse tombstones on Cassidy. People are hitting the ring for once. Daniels could barely get in the ring. So
yeah, but is Orange Cassidy the guy to be doing this too? You know what I mean?
Okay, so Hangman laid out Daniels, Christopher Daniels, and is just pounding him. And I don't know. Let's unhinged Hangman. Let's see what comes of this. For $5, Justin Booth says 80% of AEW's roster is mostly made up of cruiserweights. Not to mention there's no in-ring psychology or logical storytelling. Right. You could work around that though. You could define like a junior head. In Japan, it's the same problem they face. There's not a lot of huge dudes, right? So that's why an Okada stands out and he's so incredible over there. So there is a way to do it. You just define the fucking weight classes, and then that's how. And then you just say, well, this guy decided to move up from junior heavyweight, and now Garcia's going to have a run at heavyweight. And then that's the way I think they should do it, especially with the New Japan style of Tony's like booking and the New Japan style of matches they like, etc. So I get it. A lot of people say that like you couldn't do a cruiserweight because they're all cruiserweights. Yeah, but you could still work around it. You know, there's ways to play with that. It's kayfabe.
Yeah,
right?
there's 1,000 different ways of doing this correctly.
Yeah.
And only a few ways of doing it wrong, and it's crazy how that works out.
Miss October 30 says Nightmare Orange wins the world title this year. Yeah, I think it happens this year, or Darby, or we're seeing Darby get it finally. I think we're going to see Darby beat Lashley and Cassidy become world champion this year. I think those two things happen. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Jay White cooking here in a promo. And I think there's a casino gauntlet match tonight, or is that next week? I don't know, but
I'm not really sure. But Phil, look, check it out. Lord, his name should be right underneath him at all times as he's cutting this promo.
And no stupid record that doesn't matter.
No, just put the face up there, put the name up there. That's it. That's all you got to do. Don't put his record up there. Maybe tell him, let the audience know where he's from. You know, that's it.
So, you know, recently there was a press conference for AEW World's End here. And Max Caster's coming to the ring right now. He's refusing to rap.
Oh, my God in heaven. Did they just listen to us? The
yeah, dude.
Came right up just as I was talking about it.
Yeah, dude. I think the mole is finally getting through to these people. But anyway,
shout out AEW Mole.
Yeah, shout him out, man. So the press conference for AEW World's End goes down, right? Tony Khan, we're going to go over the question and all of that. I don't think I've reacted to it yet, but basically the funniest moment from it, I just want to bring this picture to the table. Like, these faces all happened within the span of like 2 seconds. And I'm not joking. Look at this cartoonish, like, this is how I could tell that question that was asked was fake. Okay, because like that someone queued that up or gave the AEW gave that to him, because Tony's like, oh, this is his version of selling for a genuine question. Oh yeah, this is for sure my first time hearing this for the first time. Tony Khan, you know? Like,
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, it does look like it's just like, yeah, good one. All right, you said all right. We had trouble with that word earlier. You got through it. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Your question's been asked. Great. Let's answer.
This is the most interesting question I've ever heard in my life that I've never never heard that I didn't write for you with a Sharpie earlier. But yeah, dude, fucking hilarious. This picture here is iconic. The many faces of Tony McCann. Let's get into the press conference stuff. So here's the question. Ango tweeted this out. Shout out Ango PW. And he goes, whoever asked this question, you're a weirdo. So the person who asked this question is literally like a Wrestling Observer fan that they sent out there to do media for them. The same way Dave gets people to fucking like tweet him in what's going on at a show, or DM
Dave sending
him.
out people to get shot. That's crazy.
And so here's Tony
fucking
McCann.
burned alive.
Look at his faces. Listen to this fucking goober ask this dumb question, man. It is just outstanding.
There has been what I would consider a lot of chatter on.
And listen to how, as he's like there, he's like nervous to ask it because he knows it's fake as fuck. He knows this is a fake bullshit ass question that someone put him up to. Dave put him up to this shit.
The setup is so long too.
It is, bro. It's a 1 minute glaze fest, and it's like it's obviously bad faith. Listen to this guy.
There has been what I would consider a lot of chatter online, negativity in regards to the product. And obviously, you're just coming off a brand new television deal. You're going to be on Max. You're going to be doing all this stuff.
Oh, really? I'm going to be on Max. My assistant definitely didn't run this question by me before, so I'm pretending to be shocked at something that I shouldn't be shocked about because it's a thing that I like. What the fuck, man? This is like kooky fucking nutty land. We're in like what Bischoff says, the masturbatory circle of fucking. In no media does this pass. In Hollywood, this doesn't pass. In sports, you can't do this. This is like a kooky fucking incestuous bubble of fuck it. This is the weirdest shit.
It only happens in professional wrestling and in politics.
Dude, exactly. This reminds me of like what AI, if you were like AI, make me a press conference of an NBA game or some shit. This is what it would come up with. You know, it doesn't even seem human. This is like if aliens hosted a fucking World's End press conference.
Right.
And obviously, you're just coming off a brand new television deal. You're going to be on Max. You're going to be doing all this stuff. Do you guys have at least a strategy for next year to try to combat a lot of this negativity that festers online and is basically done for almost monetary reasons? To basically
look at that fucking face, and then he's like, "I concur. Yeah, it is done for monetary. There's really lots of negativity out there. I wouldn't know. I don't contribute to it. I don't rally my fucking, my troops to contribute to it at all. Like Jesus Christ, man, this is fucking crazy. In the face he's making, I concur. It is for monetary reasons. Like, and they're sitting here telling, like, Tony already believes this shit that people just troll for monetary and they're blah blah blah. So this guy is just coming and reaffirming some shit Tony already believes to what all these sickos who already believe this shit. Like, that's not journalism, just trying to reaffirm what everyone in the room thinks. Oh yeah, like fucking it's just bad faith and it's only to get paid, right? How do you feel about that? Because you're so awesome. Sorry, I know I'm pausing this a lot, but it's like, god damn it, what the fuck, man.
There's still 40 seconds left.
I know, and it's like I'm not saying you got to go in there and ask Tony if his uncle touched him when he was a kid, right? But you got to go in there and fucking ask some shit, like ask something. And then you look up the guy who this is, and he's just a fan of the Observer. It's not even a joke. It's insane. He's got his fans out there doing his dirty work. Because he's been called. Dave's been called out. His hand's been caught in the cookie jar one too many times. So, anyways, let's listen to the last 40 seconds of this.
Festers online and is basically done for almost monetary reasons to basically bring down what you guys are doing when you guys are.
And I'm sorry, that's why JD pisses me off a bit when he goes, and lose all the money I'm making.
That's what he said.
And this guy's sitting here. It's almost like a psyop where it's like JD is like fucking like he's on their team. And I'm not saying that. Obviously, I'm being Black Helicopters, Infowars.com. Like, obviously, I'm joking, but it's like
double agent,
bro. That's what I mean. This is almost like a psyop, bro. You get what I'm getting at? Like, I don't understand, man. This is kooky times we live in. But for real though, when JD goes, "Oh yeah," and miss out on all the money I'm making from you guys or from these guys making fun of AEW, and then this guy comes on here and uses the same vernacular as Meltzer and Tony and all these old podcasters are doing it for money. That's the same vernacular, so we know this was a coached fucking statement here. But either way, though, when he says that and then JD says what he says, it gives that validity. And that's what I don't fucking like about what JD said. But that's not, that's my criticism of it. And anyways, not to circle back to that.
Really, having in regards to money, your best year that you've had since you've started. Just like I said, I just see it online.
The best year you've had since you started. How? Because of a TV deal that means nothing, bro. When. Like, for real, it means nothing in the grand scheme of things, okay? You're doing your lowest rated shows ever, all of them. One of the shows went away. How is this the best year ever when All In or whatever drew less than it did the year before? How is that the best year ever? Fucking crazy.
It's difficult. It's hard. It's hard to watch if you're a fan of AEW to just see again, a lot of the negativity.
Oh my God, this fucking struggle session that this guy's got going on here.
I think
that shit makes no sense.
So his point was to say it's tough to be an AEW fan with all the negativity around it. Like, so you came to just play a victim to Tony.
Yeah.
So that he
needs your diaper changed, you fucking pussy. Like, that makes no sense. Why would you insert your own opinion? It makes it very tough for an AEW fan to really appreciate. Shut up and ask the question. And besides all that, we've already heard this fucking answer before. Ask something new.
Every press conference, it's the same shit. Oh,
Every fucking one
is to be attacked and everything's great and this will be our biggest year and everything's great. And I got some secrets I'm not going to tell you, but I'll tell them to Meltzer. Like, that's the same thing every fucking time. But yeah, this guy is just this abhorrent question. This is why the Observer is such a joke.
And it's bad faith, man.
It's not even a fucking question. It's a statement.
Yeah, he's making a whole bunch of statements.
Yeah, and he just goes, and it's bad faith criticism.
It's bad.
Well,
that's what we can wrap it up as. I mean, it's objectively speaking, it's bad faith. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this is just a narrative that Meltzer prepared, and I told Tony you're going to ask this, so he'll have an answer prepared.
Well, I think there's, like you said, the great positive things.
So many, I guess that shit is fucking insane. I have to save that for research purposes. FTR ball washing Adam Copeland like a mark. There was more incredible glazing and glizzy eating going on.
There has been
what I would consider a lot of talking again. So let's play FTR. We talked about them earlier with the shirts and them standing on their own 2 feet and FT runners and all that. Here's him talking about Edge. And I want to react to this. This is my first time actually hearing this in full.
Very real situation.
I avoided it for the show.
Hits very close to home for so many people, and in particular these 3 Asheville natives.
If I could say something about Adam's injury, right? It's hard for me, I'm sure you guys know, to bite my tongue on a lot of things. And if I feel strongly about something, I want to say it.
No kidding, sucker.
But this man is one of the greatest.
And he blocked AEW Defender.
Good.
Like, think about.
I don't give a shit about him.
Yeah, I don't give a shit either. But AEW Defender's like, oh, I've never said anything rude.
That motherfucker said something about me in a tweet that alluded to like, well, your mother doesn't love you either. Your mother's love isn't guaranteed either. This is AEW Defender. It's like, fuck you, you little fucking punk.
Oh man, these sickos are fucking the best.
Incredible.
Right, and I think we all know that his career is what everybody strives to have when they start in professional wrestling. Just because he is who he is, or at the age that he is, why can't he go?
No one said he can't. People just said he shouldn't.
And dive off. Why can't he? If he wants
answer it, Adam.
He's
Look at Adam.
He's had the career he's had.
He wants to answer that because I was idiotic. I was stupid. I was retarded. I should have never jumped off that cage. Shut up, bald man with mustache. God damn.
He's like, I could pick my fucking kid up for like 3 weeks, bro.
Yeah, like, really.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's just, you know how we can talk when you know somebody's talking and like they're searching for words. This is Dax right here, searching for something to say.
Why can't he jump off a cage? Why can't he team with Christian again?
Because he'll be out for 8 months, you fucking idiot. Airhead.
Why can't he be the one to save AEW? Even though he's a WWE guy. Why can't we just copy everybody's t-shirts designs and put FT in front of it and make it our own? Why can't we do this? You know?
And we have some of the people that like to criticize what we do, and they ask him, they question him. This is Adam Copeland, or excuse me, this is Adam fucking Copeland. If he wants to jump off the cage, let him jump off a cage. And if he breaks his leg, he breaks his leg. Oh well, we move on and we come back, and that's what we've done.
See, but like, here's the thing: you might not come back from that. Like, he's lucky he was able to come back from that, dude. Like that, it could have been a career-altering injury, life-altering when you break your leg that way.
Waterhead Dax embodies the entire mentality of an AEW fan. Oh, if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. He comes back, we move on. But what? What are you fucking talking about? We lose money, we lose revenue, we lose a big gigantic star. It fucks up my goddamn booking. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I would have, yeah, really, I would have cut his mic and fired him right then and there.
Awful's firing you're all
you've got to show these guys in 2025 that you're the one that's going to stay alive. God damn it. Like, hey, listen, bro, I got bills I got to take care of. I got investors I've got to please. I've got people who are counting on me to keep this thing going for the next 100 years. I want to beat out awful wrestling. I don't want to see him write his goddamn book. So you're fired.
Yeah, for real though.
Seriously.
He's a little too nice to say that sometimes. I wanted to say it.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Leo, don't worry, honey. I'll tell them. And then look at Edge's face here. Look at Edge's face here. The motherfucker. Oh, man, it's so good. And then this guy responds. He's like, yeah, what do you say? Dax, you're right. Who am I to say that it's a stupid idea for Edge to jump off the cage and break his leg or worse, his neck? We just move on, right? A few round of applause is woo, yay, and this is awesome. Then we move on, not giving a shit. Pretty much what he said there. Here's JD again saying, with Tony Khan sitting there, Dax says, who's going to stop him? Explaining and justifying Adam Copeland jumping off a steel cage. What's wrong with AEW? This clip gives you all the answers you need. And exactly, like, why can't he do this? And Tony's sitting there like, he's right. And Tony should be like, well, because this is he's saying it.
Yep.
And it's what you said, Awful. Like, dude, because I invested millions of dollars in this guy for fucking 2 years and an option, and like, I am not going to get my money's worth out of it. What the fuck? His whole career could have been done. What the fuck? He's already on limited dates. That's what the mentality should be. But instead, Tony's like, you're right. How dreamy. Edge is right. Hey, guys, do you see? That's Edge right over there. Yeah. Right. I own him now. I collected that card. STG 212 for 279 Canadian says, like Dave, JD is on the payroll. JD's on the payroll. Oh, Mother Goose, I fucked her. Andre Adams for $5 says, Max Caster getting murked by the Hurt Syndicate is my new favorite thing. Yeah, dude, that was cool. I don't know. It was a good little TV match, though, between the Hurt Syndicate and the Acclaim there, or I believe it was a one-on-one thing, and Bowens was doing his thing. But it seems like the Acclaim's going to break up here, and I don't know. I'm interested in it. And here's Julia Hart versus Jamie Hayter, and damn, they have really pushed Hayter down the fucking ranks here. And if Julia beats her, that's not to say Julia shouldn't be pushed, but fucking Hayter's apparently. What the rumors are is that Hayter is not very happy with how she's been booked, and she brought something up. Yeah, she brought something up, I guess, backstage. Now, this is all probably could be bullshit, could be true, who knows? But apparently she brought something up, like not in a bad way, like fuck, not a Camille way, where she went public, like, oh, I don't know You know, they're not giving me a chance or whatever. She just went backstage like, I'm not fond of how you're booking me. And then it got her a bit of heat, and we've seen her losing and shit. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. If Julia beats her, I think that just lends to that a little more.
Right.
But yeah, all Jake is
You know
saying,
what
Hater's done in that company.
Oh yeah,
it's unfortunate.
There needs to be some sort of deep dive into the mentality of a billionaire like Tony Khan. I think a lot of people don't understand that he probably looks at it's proven that he looks at his talent as less than human. When you've got so much money, somebody said something like $1 million worth $1 million converted to seconds would be like 31 days or 31 days or some shit like that. But $1 billion converted into seconds is like 21 years. That's how much money. That's how far removed from any sort of problems that Tony Khan may have health wise. You know, he can pay for a lot of things with the money that he has. When he's doing this with talent, when he sees an Adam Copeland, he sees Adam Copeland as edge, and he's paying him as edge. But he also sees Adam Copeland as somebody who's making a lot less money, and he believes that Edge needs Tony Khan. And that's terrible. Yeah, it's a terrible route to be. That's the problem with being a billionaire. Like, you lose touch with a certain reality.
It's true, dude. Or even like 100 millionaire and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like when you get to that level where
you don't have to worry about anything, dude.
Yeah, you
nothing at all.
You can't relate to like the average person. I would say like 5 years deep into having $100 million, like or $1 billion. You know, you lose that. I mean, just naturally, just not like you said, not having to worry about shit or stress about like a bill or something, bro. That's like 99% of people don't have that luxury. Just that little simple thing. So yeah, you're right. And to him, it's like human crash test dummies. It's human 2K24 mode. Yeah, I'll dive off the fucking cell with Edge on 2K24 too. I'll go through the announce table and I'll fucking light it on fire first too. But that's a video game. You know?
And that's the difference between Tony Khan and almost every promoter that has ever been. All the promoters went through the rigmarole. They were probably grown up in the business. They were probably in the business. They were wrestlers themselves, so that there's a certain relatability that they have with the talent. Because Tony Khan has no relatability skills, he has no social grace. When somebody comes up to him to even lightly criticize or even talk about, hey man, maybe I might not be used correctly, he gets offended because he's lived this life of charm and prestige where he doesn't hear too many criticisms about what he's doing. So anytime this average plebeian, this fucking proletariat comes up to him and tells him like, hey man, I've been in catering for 6 weeks, like what gives? Oh well, fuck you. You should be lucky to be even breathing my air. That's how Tony Khan operates.
And he can't relate on the wrestling side. He can't relate on putting your body through bumps for 10 fucking years and like getting told no by WWE and then getting a second. Yeah, like those sorts of things. He can't relate to that shit in any way other than he watched it. Hey, so did I. You know?
Yeah, really.
Like, I can't do that fucking job. I'm not equipped, the guy equipped to be the one like managing all these motherfuckers. I could admit that. First and foremost, like, yes, if I owned a wrestling company like him, yes, I'd want some of my creative ideas in there. I'd be running them off people way smarter than me when it comes to wrestling, though. You know, I can be a creative, but I'm going to trust. Oh, and they're just botching right now, Hater and fucking Julia, just rough. But anyway,
I want the action to go slow, but not that slow.
But if I had the billions, like I don't blame Tony for wanting to pump billions into the wrestling business. It's a goddamn good thing. Like if you're a wrestling fan, however, it's like him being a creative and in charge of this AEW company is not a good thing if you're a wrestling fan, in my opinion. I think after 6 years now and being a very diehard fan for 3 and still diehard motherfucker, I watch all this shit. Okay, buy these fucking pay-per-views, bro. And it's like at the end of the day, you know, I'm allowed to be critical of it, and I've seen this behavior from Tony that we're about to go over now, the greatest hits of Tony Khan. I hope everybody's ready for it. Okay, we got Tony Khan's greatest hits to start the New Year's. We enter year 6, but this is the behavior and the mismanagement and the bad creative is enough for me to go, yeah, it's or is enough for at least someone smarter than me, let's say Bischoff, to go, yeah, it's doomed if this guy doesn't fuck off. There's no hope. People get triggered by that. No, there isn't, as long as Tony's in charge. period, point blank. Or as long as not even him being in charge, he can write the paychecks and own the company and say, I'm the face of it. Come out and yell about time cop, whatever. But if the people who are delegating the talent and fucking coming up with the creative and the booking and who's going to get a push and people getting their surgeries on time and shit like that, it should be other people than who Tony thinks should be there. And Tony Khan being the fucking headmaster of those things. 150 million fucking %, especially if he's talking shit like there's no such thing as long-term booking when you're looking at WWE and the product of their long-term booking is everything they have going on right now. You guys are on Max with 1 million followers and on Twitter, and Netflix has 22 million followers on Twitter, just that alone. Let alone how many people have Netflix compared to Max, etc. And I get it. Tony got an upwards 185 million. He's like, oh, we're the best. We're the best since WCW. If he's okay with that, great. But this shit is only going to keep trending downwards as long as he's in charge of the fucking creative and as long as he's managing the talent, but he's not managing them, and that's the fucking problem. That's why there's slaps.
Yeah.
That's why there's no surgeries happening. That's why there's travel being fucked up, and that's why we have this Mark showing up on NFL Draft Day with a fucking neck brace. Let's take a travel through memory lane. Awful. You made this fucking segment here as well. We have your thread here, and we're gonna go through a bunch of these moments. This is a highlight.
You just made the list.
Yeah, Awful made the list. But yeah, this is like a highlight reel of some of the best Tony Khan moments. I hope everybody appreciates and enjoys this. Jimmy B for $5 says, Happy New Year's, guys. I hope AEW turns it around. If not, at least we'll get Edge in a 2K game again. Yeah, I mean, if they turned it around tomorrow, that'd be fucking amazing. But they need to at least do 5 of Awful's 10 suggestions first before it's even considered a step in the right direction, in my opinion. So let's see here. We have Tony Khan, though. He was at the NFL thing. This was this past year. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Here's him with the neck brace talking about Harvey Weinstein and Coke and Pepsi and WWE.
AEW, we've been doing this for 5 years. We are the most successful sports startup since the AFL. Pre-merger. There has not been a challenger brand that has gained as much market share as AEW. In many, many, many years. We are like the Pepsi of pro wrestling. Yeah. And we're up against
this guy in the pink shirt could not give a fuck any less. He's like, bro, what is this guy waffling about?
Mm-hmm. And he's known Tony Khan for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Evil juggernaut. WWE is
they're the evil juggernaut.
Is our competitor. That's who we're facing. AEW, like the Pepsi of pro wrestling. WWE's like the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling.
Just like not even an analogy. This is why people don't like Tony and Dave. And
straight face.
Why people don't watch the show. Yeah. And these guys are just not. They're like, did he really just say that on our thing?
He certainly did.
They're just sitting there like, now I got to get yelled at by my producer for that shit because now I'm going to get tweets about Harvey Weinstein now and fucking Me Too because Tony Khan, because this billionaire son is having a fucking pretend time, playtime. He gets to LARP today in my business, and I get to get yelled at by my fucking producers. This shit is so embarrassing, bro. Holy, and in real television business, I know that's what these guys are thinking. They're like, dude, someone's gonna yell at me the second we go to commercial break. What the fuck?
And it's the only reason they're going to get yelled at is because they sat there stunned and dumbfounded, and they didn't say, "All right, Tony, listen, bro, cut it out."
And because they can't yell at Tony, whoever the producer is too, can't go, that dumb dork motherfucker said that.
What a networking industry! Like you can't make no waves in the television industry.
And I'm really proud of what we do down here.
Ridiculous. They have to do that fake laugh. Oh, Tony, oh, you crazy son of a bitch. If I lose my job because of this, I'll fucking kill you in Minecraft. Reminder, AEW showing the all-in footage was the highest rated AEW Dynamite of 2024. CM Punk is a draw on 2 companies. Tony Khan fearing for his life back here. We'll watch this again. Also, Tony Khan doubled down and said that he thinks that this was key in getting his TV deal this last year as well. So like on the second push, so he I think I think this is the back of Punk's other boots. So we see it gets lifted up, but he knows what to do. And he just stands his base well, gets his arms under Perry's shoulders because he's like, hey, I'll just lift you up from under me because you're not going to fucking take me down, dude. Stoned for this. Why are they all fighting, Dad? Hey, Dad, can we go to NXT soon? I want to fuck Cora Jade.
If CM Punk is smart, he'll wear that same jacket on the Netflix debut of Raw against Seth Rollins. God. That would be awesome.
That would be incredible. Here's Tony Khan in the early days, you know, giving a stunner to your boy Spears. And then Aubrey just jumping around like a fucking... What the fuck? Yeah, that's another whole time in history too.
Yeah. Wasn't that our first introduction to Tony Khan as far as like as a person getting in the ring, I guess. I don't know. That was like his first time in the ring. Yeah.
I remember when that leaked, man. Everyone was pissed.
Yeah.
Here's Tony Khan introducing. Well, I'll let him do it.
The Greek Freak!
The Great Freak!
The Great Freak!
Fucking amazing, bro. Some dancing with Garcia. Because that's what they do. Here's the many faces of Tony Khan. And then here's an awful thread here of Tony Khan moments. We're going to check these out. Here's the first one. Him with
the
Denise
Easter eggs
Salcedo.
together.
Shout out Denise Salcedo. Let's see this.
AEW. Everybody was like, kind of putting the Easter eggs together of things that we were seeing there. Tony, what can the people expect from business?
Well, I'm excited to come to Boston and have a great show. We did our second show ever there.
Back then. I mean, it was so painfully obvious.
Oh, man. They just have no chill. They just love stooging, bro. Dude. Yeah, I'm on this.
To none.
Fuck you, Tulsa.
Business is going to be a great show, and I'm really excited about it. I think everybody's reading and interpreting what they think is going to come, and I think that's awesome. You want to build the speculation for Wednesday, March 13th, AEW. The pre-sale started today, and we're off to a huge start. This is going to be a very successful event, and I can't wait to come to Boston. And Collision's been on this amazing run of shows week in, week out. And so much great stuff happening. You mentioned
big business at the forefront. So exciting to talk about awful wrestling. Like, share, follow.
Fuck, dude, that's amazing. We got another one here. Look at this shit. Sting's last appearance. I can't wait. There we go. I know those two would fuck it up. Yeah, I felt so bad for Sting. You had to work.
I felt
with fucking
terrible.
The Bucks, man. To end this whole shit, bro. God damn. And like Conrad Thompson was all like, "Oh, I don't think there's been a better career-ending booking than booking Sting like Goldberg and fucking." You know what I mean? I don't understand, bro.
Right,
What do you
like,
mean? You should have put one guy over.
They put their credibility on the line every time they say some dumb shit like that. I tell you, they don't see it, but it's nonetheless true.
Here's another one. The no millie, so that's like the no millie's like is that still a thing where you're like it's still no millie, or is it like
oh yeah, dude, we're having our second no millie anniversary coming up. I think it's February 23rd, 2025. Yeah, dude,
man.
2 years, no Millie. Like, and look at the numbers that they got at the 6-week mark. What was that? 762. The last video you showed was 800,000. Like, come on now, we're in the
Collision,
580 range now.
What shocked me was that February too, where it said Collision was at like 400K. It's like, damn, they were doing that low that early this year. Hey, like, fuck, man, you forget sometimes. So.
Yeah, dude.
By Tony Schiavone and
Oh, come on. Oh, come on now. Awful. What did these gilf/milfs ever do to deserve to get in an awful wrestling?
Come on now, Eric.
What the fuck?
Hey, I go with what I see.
Andre Adams for $5. But somebody tell Mercedes her hot girl free trial expired. Yeah, dude, she's in the ring cutting a fucking promo with a vignette about all of her stuff. Who's gonna return to attack her, or we're gonna see Camille maybe returns here. So who fucking knows? But dude, another legendary roast from the roast god Andre Adams. Scully Vibes for $5 says, "Shut up, PWT and awful. Happy New Year's." The promo for AEW on HBO was super weak. People are saying there's no ads on the app for Dynamite. Yeah, we covered that a little bit earlier. We'll dive into more of that a little later with Meltzer. But also, we covered other shit too, like here in Canada, the USA Network is using a photo of CM Punk. There's a bunch of shit going on. Scully, thank you for checking in. Happy New Year's to you and yours as well. It's good to see you. And I don't know, man. It is super weak. Do you have HBO or Max or whatever the fuck awful? Like in general? Or?
I don't have HBO and I don't have Max. I don't really watch too much television, to be honest with you. Like I wouldn't know what the fuck is.
Besides wrestling, I'm not a big, like, I don't go and watch like other shows. I don't care about any movie. Like some of them I do, if it's superheroes and shit. Squid Games, I just binged out season 2 of that. That was fucking awesome.
Did you check out Nosferatu yet?
I did not, but I cannot wait to see if a Nosferatu drops, I'm all about it. If a movie like Fast whatever comes out, I don't give a fuck,
I saw it.
It was a good Nosferatu or no?
I'm gonna have to. The thumbs in the middle, man.
Yeah, let me watch it. Let me watch it, and I'll get back to you on that. I know you're a Squid Game guy. Did you watch season 2 or no?
Yeah, I saw season 1. I did not even know season 2 existed.
Dude,
so
it dropped.
I'll definitely
there
check
was
it
like
out.
no promo for it out of nowhere. They just dropped it as well, but it's like the biggest thing already. It's the #1 show today, but it was like out of nowhere, just no promo. Here's the season on like Boxing Day, and season 2 awful. You'll get what I mean by this. It's a true sequel. It's a true sequel. It's not as good as season 1, but it's not supposed to be because it's like adding to season 1. Do you know what I mean? But it is still really good. It is still really good.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so Andre Adams for $5 says if Mercedes closes her mouth all the way, she would bite her back. Oh my. Oh man.
What a visual. Thank you, Andre.
Andre, that is absolutely insane. Okay, well, these gilfs and milfs aside here, I know awful. You're a busy man. You got something to do. You got a jet, my friend. Correct?
Yes, I do.
Excellent.
But,
okay, well,
I want to thank the chat. I'm glad all of us are here alive in 2025 to listen to Phil and Awful Wrestling and Alt Jake and George Captor and anybody else that he may have as a frequent guest on here. Serenade you guys with some great wrestling chatter for about, I don't know, how long do you go on these fucking things? Like 10, 11 hours on this shit?
Yeah, sometimes it's long, bro. Sometimes it's like 5 or 6, and it's like, goddamn. Yeah, so doing the damn thing. But awful, man, I want to thank you for being here. Happy New Year to you. Hope you had a Merry Christmas and all that. You can follow Awful at Awful Wrestling. You already know. Follow Toonie Talk Wrestling. Toonie Town Wrestling is the channel, I believe, right? Yes, that's it.
Yes, indeed. And I saw somebody in the chat say, I saw somebody said, does Awful have a YouTube channel? I do have a YouTube account, and I definitely will be doing a YouTube channel this year, probably in the next couple of weeks. I'll reveal the name of the show right now. It's going to be called The Awful Autopsy.
Nice.
And that's all I'm going to say. The Awful Autopsy. So,
I can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil, for, first day of the new year. I'm the first guest. That's awesome. I was the guest on this show last year, and you opened your arms up to me. It was beautiful. It was embracing. You kissed me several times. It was loving. And no, but thank you guys.
Don't ruin the illusion here, man.
Yeah, no. But yes, I want to thank you, Phil. I want to thank the chat for supporting Pro Wrestle Times. I want to thank those who support Marv and us on Tuning Talk Wrestling. And thank you
Marv's
guys
coming on soon too, guys, as well. So
get the fuck out of here! Really?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, really. But
so
be sure to
like,
check that. I definitely will be checking that out as well. But thank you, Phil. Thank you. And peace to the chat. You guys have a great night.
Man. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Everyone, round of applause for awful motherfucking wrestling. First guest of the year 2025. I told you all we're kicking it off with a banger. And again, at Awful Wrestling, Toonie Talk Wrestling, Tooneytown Wrestling, and Toontown Wrestling, I believe, on YouTube there. Just make sure you go and subscribe. I'm sure you all already are. And if you aren't, I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. And yeah, Awful. I'm so happy he came through for a few hours there to, how long was that? A couple hours we got him this time to kick off the new year. So that's amazing. Jay White makes his way to the ring, and we're going through more of the hilarity that was 2024. Actually, first, George Capture for $5 says, between the two channels, over 300 watching and 144 likes. Yeah, guys, we crushed it. Also, round of applause, and I want to give air horns. These streams are growing bigger and bigger. I saw like Santi Zap and JD, who are two huge creators in the space. They were talking about how they're like, dude, a 38-minute retention rate is nutty for like a YouTube like live stream, long form, whatever. And then I posted mine. I was like, yo, mine's at like 27 or whatever minutes retention rate or whatever. So I don't know. They're marking out over that. I'm just saying, like, we're up there with the big dogs as far as like what we're able to do. We just got to reach that. We're going to in fucking 2025. I'm sure of it. And yeah, that was awesome having Awful on. And it's amazing having so many people watching us throughout tonight. We growing by the day. And yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing live shows Mondays too, like to watch Raw with you guys, because we don't watch along a weekly WWE show, and the Netflix January Raw might be the January 6th Raw might be the time to start that. I think, so yeah, when Monday, Wednesdays, and Sats, and then of course the run-ins, and I'll try and drop a pod once a week or whenever. So I just love you all so much, and thank you. And yeah, again, Awful being very kind with his words. I'm sure it'll be back to roasting me as usual throughout the year, though. But today it's a special day, start of a new year. So anyways, let's continue with hilarious the ring rats here. Yeah, let's continue with these like moments of Awful's moments. He's not with us physically, he's with us in spirit here. And yeah, here's 2024 AEW and Tony Khan in review. End of all time, too. Some of these might go from before 2024 as well.
Tony Khan would rather spend his money on guys that will elevate AEW rather than bury it.
Remember the Embrace the Grind saga? That was this year, too, with fucking, Ospreay being like him. And he slept with his wife, who's Stephanie McMahon, or whatever the fuck he said on the show. At least he didn't have to sleep his way to the top, bro. Restore the feeling, bro. To restore the feeling.
I remind people what the identity of AEW is meant to be.
I'm not like you, Will. I don't wrestle for fun. I wrestle for a purpose and the betterment of all elite wrestling.
Fucking bullshit! It's been the same old shit for about 5 years now, but...
Oh, man, you gotta love it. That's a great one. Here's another one.
What a crazy few months. Holy... I thought the worst happened when I broke my foot.
I just love how Awful drops the viewers, because the wrestlers would be like, we don't care. That would be their response to it, but it's funny. He just I fucking love these, man. It's so good.
I am going to Anarchy in the Arena because I want to offend AEW's honor.
I want to offend AEW's honor. 63 weeks. I'm like, dude, is the no Millie still a thing? He's like, dude, we're having our 2 year. Oh man, what a year! What a year, dude! 2025, man, it's gonna be a good one.
And I feel like there's still wrestling fans, but they just don't like what they see on TV now.
No shit, yeah. I fucking love these guys. This shit, man. I just love like AEW, bro. I don't want it to go anywhere. I know Awful will be fucking tap dancing on its grave, but it's too good. You know, there's too much lulls to be had. Anyways, moving along. Here's the Buckaroos again.
Tonight, we have a huge announcement. Well, let me correct myself. We have 2 huge announcements.
Oh, I love it, man. I love the shit. Okay, here's another one here. This happened this year. So, like, to start the year, they were doing 703 and like 665. Like, this is from December of last year, you know? So, they didn't start strong at all. Like, at all. Yeah, the Bucks, man, they just were ruining everything.
A big debut.
Let's see this.
Tonight. A big debut.
Oh, and the wig falling off, and then the ref's face. I don't know, dude.
Why not advertiser? Don't fucking know. Oh my God in heaven. Wear that and I might watch. Calm down, honey. You weren't that good. The fuck was that?
The worst finish.
This is a shoot, sister. Fuck your spine.
Who edited? Is this awful? Jesus, man. The commentary is killing me on this one.
Are you thinking you've made a big mistake? You sure did. Millions of dollars and a stank-ass attitude. Will you be watching all that and more in the world's jankiest wrestling promotion, AEW?
No, Millie. It's his whole thing, dude. For the longest time. See, I thought they I haven't seen no Millie stuff. I thought it's been sort of let go, you know, but no. You know the rest, yeah. But they got beat by NXT.
A major problem. We have a major problem.
And you must be looking very old.
Oh my God, Tony fumbling his phone around. Oh my God.
Very old tonight.
Do y'all remember that when he wore the Inoki scarf and then he pulled his own phone out? Was like, you could all take a look. Incredible, man. Oh no, yeah, I'm an idiot. This is I'm like, oh, December from last year. This is last month. I'm a fucking idiot. But either way, we're seeing as the weeks 61, 67, 65 throughout the whole year, they were putting up fucking low ass numbers. It's hard to remember because you're like, damn, dude, like how, because at one point they were still doing like 9 and 8s, and it was like, and then when they did 7, it was a big deal. Or even when they did 800 thou, it was a big deal. Remember that? Now we're so used to it. I feel like it's been forever. I'm like, yeah, oh well, Dynamite did 650. Like, but you remember, you're like, God damn it, like this whole last year, that's about their new numbers, like 700. If they do 750, that's a W for them now. Fucking terrible, you know? But that doesn't matter now because streaming, we're on Max. This exciting triple threat that's going on here. Sicko in the chat, grasping. Let's check it. Dude, WWE declined too. Yeah, the TV ratings did too, but like attendance and everything else, the opposite. So like merch sales, attendance, all of that shit. And then now they're on Netflix. I agree. The rating shit is dumb to even talk about, but the problem is that that's what AEW and Dave Meltzer do all the time. So I'm here to roast it, bruv. You know what I mean? Antonio, not as much as this year, bro. Sorry, here. I'm just trying to catch up with what chat's talking about. We're all sickos, bro. Don't take offense to it. We're all sickos or wackos, whichever you prefer. They both suck ass. Okay, then, bro, you're on a wrestling channel, so it's like if you're like, I don't like WWE or AEW, you're in the wrong place, bro. You know, probably just dip out. Anyways, though, or just stay and chill. Hit the like button though, or the dislike. Either way, I appreciate it. So yeah, more of these clips here. Here's some Monet. How many? Awful posted like a billion of these fucking things. Hey, I don't know if we can get through all of these. Yeah, it's so many. We will do here. Let's do the very bottom one just to see. We'll do like 4 more.
I'm so sorry. Hi guys. Hi.
69 weeks.
So you're also going to be here right now. It's a lot like.
Oh, and some of these marks actually yell Time Cop now. Time Cop's getting over. Oh, Tony. Oh my God, dude.
You can stop what we do. I doubt it.
Bro, that is fucking fantastic. Okay, let's see here. Here's a set of 4. Here, this will be. We'll do a couple of these sets here. That we got. He's dropping whole fucking a movie franchise on us here, Awful is.
This company is broken.
That it is. There we go. Well, they went 81. See, we're in the 80s now and shit, dude. Turning slightly red into 83. That's why they got so offended too, is because the fans, these sickos, these wackos, like Awful, also made it about like the 83 week, like Eric Bischoff. So yeah, dude, AEW is going to be stuck in the mud competing with WCW, a dead company forever, if that's what their intention is. Either way, man, again, another round of applause for Awful. I mean, we cannot possibly go through all of those, but that's amazing fun. And that was also our AEW hot news segment, a very, very long one, as Ricochet just hit Swerve in the head with scissors, because more scissors. Because why not? Why not have more scissors when everyone's already done that gimmick a billion fucking times? We need Vince back. Bring the entertainment back to WWE. Bro. Yeah, you're a fucking sicko, dog.
You what?
Yeah, so let's get into some WWE hot news, shall we, today, as Jay White picks up the victory. Good shit, I guess, you know, that he deserves to be pushed a little bit more. And he's finding himself in world title pictures. Okay, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. Here, I'm also just off screen firing off a link here. And oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jose the assistant's DMing me again. Go follow him. And yeah, the free, I'm gonna start charging him for the free promo. But he's like, everyone in the chat, go follow me. It's like, all right, Jose. If you're gonna holler, Travis Heck will give me a DM as well. I'm just sending the link off. Happy New Year to you if you're listening, and Travis as well. And I will get back to you. A lot of people DM me. I have not gotten back to, and I apologize. And that is nothing personal, by the way. If anyone's listening, like, oh, come on now, Phil, why aren't you just a busy motherfucker? Holidays, things will start rolling again in the new year. I'm looking for Alt Jake's thing. Here it is. Okay. 10 million fucking New Year's messages. I sent you a link, Alt Jake. If you're in there, you want to join the show, I'd love to have you. And we might have someone else. Don't get mad if they don't come in. I think someone else might pop in. Don't get mad if they don't show. Anyways, okay, moving along here, guys. Let's play the breaking news. We have a gory stabbing with scissors and Ricochet's beating a bloodied Swerve. So let's react to this, and then we'll get into the hot WWE news. I swears it. So here's a new side of Ricochet's bloodying up Swerve. See, I'm not mad at this at all. I told y'all before. I was like, listen, him being made to be like a little bitch, like the Hurt Business, he'll be their whipping boy, or like this is what's gonna make him like turn heel and shit, you know? So I wasn't so mad at that, but they did just punk his ass out, make him look goofy for a while, and this will add a little bit of edge back for sure, but I'm gonna criticize it. Why the fuck did he use scissors when everyone uses scissors already? You know, that's the problem. Like, and D, happy early birthday as well. Hey, Denisha in the chat. But yeah, it's just the scissors is what's stupid. It would have been dope if he just like chair shotted, or I guess no, everyone would get triggered over the chair shots. But yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. Like everyone's been shanked with scissors in this show. So you know, come up with something new, maybe a new way to bust someone open than a scissor stabbing, because I think all scissors should just be banned in AEW, because otherwise someone's going to get a hold of them and it's going to turn into fucking Rikers Island. And then that lame clothesline finish. Like they wanted to see Ricochet come in and do like his 630 sentons and shit. He just does a running lariat. That's his finish. Like not even a shining wizard or anything cool. You couldn't be more of a dork. But yeah, I'm not mad at this. Here we go. A little decent piece of business there, not gonna lie. And then he's just laughing all crazy. Ha ha, I'm like losing my mind. He's like the nerdy, crazy laughing guy, you know? So it is what it is. But yeah, he shouldn't be allowed to walk through the crowd with those scissors either. Maybe I'm being too woke, but that seems like a liability. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Just have to be like Jake was and ignore it. I'm not sure what you guys are even talking about. Sorry, I'm trying to... I have no tolerance to trolls. No, yeah. Listen, people can come in trolling. I don't give a shit. You can let them chill. But just if they start being gross or shitty, like where it's not even funny. Like if it's funny, we're all good. You know, or like even if they want to talk shit to me or be like, you're a dumbass, you're wrong about something, let them, let them ride it out. But if they start being like, obviously it's not, it's just being like it's not even funny trolling, or like not even clever, not adding good quality content to what I'm talking about, then you can fucking let them go. I'm okay with anyone coming in the chat, hanging out. I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. It's not about that, but ultimately, yeah, just if you're clearly fucking trolling, the mods will be like, fuck off. And that's on them, bro. I trust those motherfuckers. So anyways, okay, yeah, so that was a decent segment. Let's move along here. We got some fucking hot WWE news, guys. Who's ready for hot news? Why is Undisputed helping? Because nobody fucking, Thank God I'm still out of here. Yeah, Moose is good. You already know that. Everyone's good. Yeah, defer George, the top mod. He'll let you know, okay? If you don't know, George will let you know. Anyways, though, let's start with some news here. WWE fans ask Grayson Waller, can we get a picture? And he just has a hilarious fucking heel response. This popped me so hard. They're like, we love you, dude. We love you. He's like, yeah, kiss my ass. And then he does his gimmick shit in the building. He's so good, man. For years to come, we get him fucking just healing, doing his thing, living the gimmick, man. You got to love it. So Booker T is set to wrestle Zilla Fatu at upcoming Reality of Wrestling event. This is pretty crazy. So they're working this angle where Booker T, he's not like this crazy authority figure, but it's sort of like he doesn't like Hendry, and Hendry's there doing cool shit. We'll watch a clip of that in a bit. And then he's like booked to take on Zilla, and Zilla's getting the push, man. He's taking on Rhino. He's taking on fucking who else? Some other people. He's just booked to take on the legends, Booker T being one of them. And yeah, so anyways, I'm excited for that and shout him out and shout out the work that Reality of Wrestling's doing. Steve Austin responded to this, and I thought it was just kind of funny because just for Steve to like put the clown emoji thing, like that's something I'd do. So a look back at Dr. Leanna Wen's expert advice on what do you call it? The vid over the years. So I don't know. Here's some lady with botch takes on the vid, I guess is what we can call it, whatever. But then, yeah, Austin, just the clowns emoji underneath. I just think that's funny where he's not even out there tweeting a lot like that, so, like at other people. So for him to just be like clowns under the thing, I don't know. I thought that was fucking funny. Here is Cody Rhodes, more of him on Two Bears, One Cave. Okay. And he did talk about some WWE stuff. One of the things he talked about was his trilogy with Brock Lesnar and just adding validity to the moment that we saw in the ring between the two of them, where we're like, holy shit, this is really real, man. And these guys, or the adage that, Brock sort of did his own thing and pulled Cody in that wasn't planned and all of that. Well, this just adds more validity to that. So let's listen to what Cody had to say. And shout out Two Bears, One Cave.
Brock's a great example. It's very hard for me when I'll never say wrestling is fake. The F word, I get really weird about it, and I don't know why, but I always say to people, hey, this reason I don't say it is because if you look dad and his son or the family over there, their feelings are real.
Yeah.
So I don't need to say this is, but I can tell you, if people ever wonder how real wrestling can be, the 3 matches I had with Brock Lesnar are the most competitive. And there's a thing when you work with a guy who's a big monster.
He's a monster.
Where they make you earn it, is what they'll say. You're not just grabbing my leg, even though that might be the spot. You're not just hitting me with the Cody cutter. It's not just happening that way. You have to actually earn it. And earn it is as close to it being in a real fight as I've ever been in my life. Yeah. I look back at the 3 matches with Brock lovingly and so proud of the body of work we put up.
Yeah.
Damn.
But also,
and we have Jeff Jarrett's about to announce something. And then Karen Jarrett's like consoling him. Satnam singing that, and Jay Lethal and them all look sad. I think he's going to say, I'm retiring, and then someone's going to jump him. And yeah.
I remember scared is probably an appropriate term, but just that was the most aggressive. And I've been in fights and I wrestled folk style, freestyle, did all that. That was the most real anything had ever been for me in the ring. And it actually gave me a whole new education on getting, I guess, to the top of our game. What it really means is there is an element of you're not just taking this.
Okay, there you go. So him just learning it's real to me, damn it. So, okay, CM Punk cooked with one of the greatest promos of all time. We're going to play the audio from it. I'm going to try and hide it off the screen, but fuck, man, he cooked. The first and last women's matches on WWE Raw era as we are watching Dynamite on Max and head into the January 6th Raw on Netflix. The first women's match on WWE Raw on the USA Network was Alundra Blaze versus Bull Nakano. And the last was the IC title tournament, Io Sky versus Lyra Valkyria. So shout out those legends, all legends. Speaking of legend, joining me now on the show is everyone's favorite Alt J. How you doing, buddy?
I love it. Good. How you doing, buddy? Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks, man. Happy New Year to you as well, and good to have you here. And yeah, Jeff Jarrett, if you had to bet, what is his announcement going to be here?
He's got to pull a Ric Flair and I will never retire, ever, or something.
I will never retire.
That's all I can think.
He's got his boots, though. He's going to lay him down.
And yeah, someone's going to come out and stop him. I don't know who. Just please not Jericho. That's all I can say.
So also on this past Raw, we got the vignette confirming that Penta El Zero Miedo Pentagon is in fact headed to WWE for sure. He'll be on this Netflix Raw debut. I was thinking the Rumble. Well, assuming that Penta is Rey Mysterio's tag partner that he's talking about. And it would make sense because Rey Mysterio brings, like, he brought Dragon Lee in out of nowhere and is like, this is my lucha bro, you know, like he could just say this is my lucha bro and allude to it and just be like, here's another lucha I'm bringing in, whatever. So yeah, shout out Penta. He also confirmed it. He tweeted out, no more gossip, my present is WWE. So he tweeted it out himself. And yeah, I'm super excited to see what he will do. And then when his brother shows up, it's just gonna elevate the tag divisions to the next level, and they could really use them on the Raw side, you know. But either way, I'm excited for Penta. I think he will be Ray's mystery partner. What say you, Alt Jake?
I mean, that would make the most sense, but I also I really liked your thought of him debuting in the Rumble. You know? But I mean, I feel like they did the vignette so fast that the last one was like the obvious one, and who doesn't want to debut on Netflix? Plus, it's also in Southern California. That'll help.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a huge pop for him, and also like in Southern California, and also Jose, the assistant, tweeted out, he's like, I have friends like in California or whatever, and then I fucking responded with a gif of Penta, and he's like, yeah, my old gym buddy or whatever. So
what if he
and that was before Penta like confirmed it, you know?
Yeah. So what if he comes out with Ray, has the match, they win, and then he turns on Ray and goes full heel?
That could be.
I really feel like he should be a heel.
I think them sticking him. Yeah, I think he should be a heel. I think he should be like the LWO headhunter. Like he should be the guy who's like, no, I'm gonna fuck Dragon Lee up, and I'm gonna fuck Ray up, and I'm gonna fuck these little luchas up. You know, I could totally see that.
Scaring Selena. Yeah, that'd be great. But it'd be cool if he comes out, gets a big baby face pop, and then turns on him right after the match. That'd be great.
Also, we talked all that shit about King Fuego and King Phoenix, but they did trademark those names. But by the looks of it and the graphics with the Pentagon and the pentagram and all that, or the Pentacle, whatever the fuck it's called, I think he's just going to be Penta, and I think they're going to call him. They could call him Pentacle or Pentagon or just Penta. I don't know if they can call him Pentagon. If I'm WWE, just fucking buy the rights for that shit back from CMLL for him or whatever, and then you own it, you know? And then
seriously,
for real. But either way, though, I think he's just going to be Penta. I just call him Penta or whatever, and that's way better than like repackaging them as King Fuego and King Phoenix. Although I was behind it a little bit. However, I think that works better if you bring them in as a tag team. If you're just bringing him in one by one, you got to just explain his history. He's a TNA champion. He's been a champion all over the fucking world in Mexico, you know? Like, he's a world champion almost every company, a former tag champ a bunch of times, whatever. He'll do well with Rey Mysterio in this tag match, you know?
And Cole's got no problem bringing up other companies now.
Yeah, like, so it'll be no problem for them being like, he's a former Impact champion or whatever.
For it.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it, and this is the way to do it. I would like to see him turn on Ray, but he might be so cool and everyone's going to pop for him. They might be like, hey, let's get a bit of baby face time out of him. Who knows? But I'm just excited for
Sell those masks.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, yeah. So hopefully, but yeah, I think he's just going to be Penta. So that's amazing. And then when Ray does show up, it's just going to add fucking fuel to the tag team division for sure. Much needed as well. Jeff Jarrett saying he's not going to retire. Speaking of not retiring, everyone's like, what's going to happen with Omos? Does he still wrestle? Is he going to leave WWE? Are they going to re-sign him? Blah, 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 right? So Omos and sumo ace Wakamoto Haru exchanged glances here at Pro Wrestle Noah, and Omos actually became a fucking tag team champion in Noah.
Yeah,
at this event, dude. Now this reminds me of the old Pride Freak Show fights where like Aki Bono would come in and fight Fedor or whatever, and this is what it is. You have this huge sumo, and then you have this giant freak Omos. Like, bro, he's so much more valuable in Japan under this setting, I feel like, than anywhere else. Yeah.
Okay.
So like that's a match down the fucking line, and it's teaching him the other side. It's teaching him like the Bushido side of pro wrestling as well. Like that shit you can't really learn by being an NIL development guy in WWE. You got to get out in the world. You got to go to Japan. You got to go to fucking,
yeah,
you know, you got to go to Mexico. You got to work indies. There's
and
something to be
him like
learned.
a star.
Yeah, bro, and that's how he should be treated. And out there, he is a star. Big giant black dude like that shows up in Japan, and people lose their goddamn minds, man. It's happened time and time again, and I just love it. Speaking of loving it, I told you guys about Edge, and your boy Phil and your boy Alt Jake were right again. So 2 told you so's on the very first goddamn day of 2025.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
I fucking am right. Jade's out here filming something. She's not really injured. All the dirt sheets talk shit. Me and Alt Jake are the only motherfuckers going, no, she's out filming something 100%. And here it is. She's a zombie or some bloody robot chick in a robot movie or whatever this is. And it's not a Super Bowl commercial like we had thought, but here you go. There's the proof. Told ya. Hate to be right again, but not really. And yeah, that's why you guys need to listen to PWT. So WWE have released a new version of the spinner belt to honor John Cena's final year in WWE. Does this cook or what, all Jake?
I mean, people will buy it. There's fans of it. I'm not a big belt mark. Like some of them are cool, and the personalized ones, like if it's your favorite, like the kids that grew up, because I'm in my 40s, so I'm thinking like the kids 10, 15 years younger than me, where they're kids when Cena was champ. I mean, I could see somebody at that age who's just getting money in their life. Like, yeah, I got to buy that, especially this year.
I'm 33 and I grew up with Cena, and he was my favorite wrestler for a lot of years growing up, but I wouldn't buy this belt personally.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge belt mark either, but I never was like a big fan of the spinners. Like when Cena broke them out, I was okay with it. But then like when Edge won the spinner and had a spinner, I was like, God, I hate that so much.
I think the best time with that belt was when Punk had it and he solidified it and it didn't move. It still had the same look with the champ and everything, but it didn't actually spin.
Yeah, see, that pissed me off though too, because I was like, just change the whole belt. It's such an ugly belt, anyways. It only worked because Cena like blinged it out for that era of and
it worked for the gimmick.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out that belt, I guess. So yeah, here's some highlights from the Noah match. Hopefully they don't pull me for this shit, but yeah, dude, Omos becomes a fucking tag champion, dude, in Noah.
That's awesome.
And like when he throws these dudes around, the fucking crowd they're like, oh,
they react.
Yeah. These like phony ass kicks and chops though. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh God! Speaking of phony ass, they've got Hobbs taking on 2 jobbers.
Yep. Hobbs in a handicap match.
We knew it. Like it's exactly what happened with Wardlow.
Yep.
Just embarrassing. Oh God.
So he's got him up there, the Tower of Doom, fucking frog splash.
That's awesome.
And then look at this, man. He choke slams this guy on the fucking. The crowd just erupts huge for that shit. Oh, damn, laying those knees in. And here's Omos. Boom. The Omos bomb. Looking right in the camera.
Who's kicking out of that, too?
Yeah, ain't nobody kicking out of that. Becomes the tag champ. I think Shinsuke was on this card as well, defending his United States title, which he did. Awesome shit. Baron Corbin, though. has confirmed that he is officially no longer under a WWE contract. He says, I'm officially no longer under my contract since I was not fired. I was told they were not extending it. So if you're making a horror movie, let me know. Ha ha ha. New year, new contract. Let's see what we can create. He was backstage at an AEW event. Awful. Talked about it. Do not bring him in. Do not bring Baron Corbin into AEW. Impact, he'd fucking cook. Him and bring him in as fucking the Nemesis Heater or something like that. Okay, or something. I don't, because they worked together in the past.
Yeah.
Him and TNA, Corbin and TNA would be good. Anything
especially
else?
with what TNA is trying to do. TNA is trying to get bigger. They're trying to get better, and they would actually use him every week. He'd just get lost in the shuffle in AEW.
Yeah. And yeah, wasn't there a story with like Rhino and Corbin and NXT at one point? Oh yeah, I think Rhino's done with TNA though. Either way, yeah, shout him out, and I hope he winds up in TNA. That would be the best place for him, hands down. Sure. Going to AEW would be such an L for him, bro. He would not fit in. They wouldn't book him correctly. Tony wouldn't value him at all, anyways, because he doesn't do flips and all that shit. But yeah,
he's a full system guy because he came out of the PC completely.
And it would just be more WWE guys. Like, you just want to get away from that. So, and he can't use the name Baron. What's he going to call himself? Karen Bourbon?
Yeah, because his real name's like Tom Sestock or something. It's just a goofy name.
Yeah, Tom Pestock is what
Pestock, that's what it is. I knew it ended in stock. I just couldn't remember the beginning of it.
So this past Raw, I mean, overall, it wasn't the most phenomenal episodes. Well, like it wasn't the most like, yeah, but the ending was fucking. There were some solid TV matches. Like I was thoroughly entertained. I was sports entertained, as they say. And then the final fucking thing, like Rollins brings up AEW. He doesn't name it by name, but he brings it up. And then also CM Punk drops the bar like, I fucking loved where I worked. I hated the person in charge or whatever. Just amazing shit.
And he loved you.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah. So I want to watch this fucking. I want to watch this promo. I want to listen to it rather, but I don't want to get pulled or anything. So what I gotta do, I think, is here. I'm gonna do this way here. I'm going to bookmark this. I'm going to add it to the WWE folder just so we can scroll it. Because if I show it on screen, whatever. But I want to play this fucking promo for you guys. It's been a while since I've done that. I used to do that a lot, like last year, early on. Like early in the year, I'd like play a lot of fucking promos from actual Raw and shit, just the audio of it, and react to some of it when it really cooked. This Punk one made me want to do that. So, yeah.
Makes sense. Road to WrestleMania. They're starting it up. It's got to get good. This is when it gets good again.
So I'm going to play this promo. We're going to listen to it. We're going to react to some of the bars. Hopefully we don't get a pull down for this. I'll leave it small on the side and I'll try and make it so it's like kind of not on screen. Yeah, that should work like that.
Take his ball and go home. You know, I haven't seen the man.
And speaking of promos, Daniel Flores, Jeff Jarrett promo was boring. Yeah. I don't know what that was, like a rah-rah speech, like I'm not retiring. Okay, nothing happened.
I will never retire. God, just go away.
Yeah, I'll never retire. Like, well, yeah, but I mean that'll never happen as long as Tony's alive. Anyways, though, let's listen to this cooking between Seth and Punk here.
Did Stone Cold Steve Austin take his ball and go home?
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen the man around these parts in quite some time. Did she take her ball and go home too?
Ooh,
or is it just me, Seth?
Shots at the wife, dude.
Yeah.
She's the man.
You want to tell these people that I turned my back on them? You want to tell 15,000 strong in Houston that I abandoned them? When in reality, you just want to cry because I abandoned you.
Damn.
I was sick and tired. And I left this place and you stayed and you ate it. We both made our choices. We both made our decisions.
Damn, man, this shit. I love the reels turns into the fucking TVs, you know? AEW could have did all this with Punk and Kenny and the Bucks. They just fucked it all up, man. It's the biggest L travesty ever. Not to make it about them, but lest
they had
we
a goofy
forget.
match where Kenny bit somebody's arm in a joke. He's like, that's my That's the picture I remember.
I
That's how
have
they handled it.
no regrets. None. I don't want to talk about the last 10 years. Let's talk about the last 10 months. Seth,
Not even the Pepsi tattoos a regret.
how's your neck?
The way Seth was
How's your
reacting was
knee,
great.
Matt? How's that knee? How's your insides? Because I watched Big Bronson Reed hit you with 6 tsunamis. How's your pride? Because you didn't get a modicum of revenge on him, and you saw me break his ankle in War Games.
Well, he broke his own ankle, but
Yeah, and that's what
no
Seth
punk
was
knows what
reacting.
he's doing. He
It's
knows
so
what he's
good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good. He's just so good at this.
Self-proclaimed best in the world? Yeah, because I believe in myself. Self-professed martyr? You're damn right. I came back. I didn't want to make friends. I said very publicly, I'm here to make money. And next week, oh, baby, I get to make a boatload of cash, making you the victim you so badly want to be, little brother.
Little Brodom. Little
Oh.
Brodom. They're in the kitchen right now, dude.
Oh, cut that crap, man. Cut that little brother crap. That don't work no more. You know the difference between you and everybody else that left? They actually did leave, all right? My wife, she's taking a break to raise a kid. I know you don't know what that's like.
Oh, shit, bro. Roasted you for not having a kid.
Stone Cold, he said it was the biggest mistake he ever made. He understands about change. All right? You left. You wanted this place to die with the echoes of those CM Punk chants. You went on your buddy's podcast, tried to tear this place down.
Cold Cabana, you son of a bitch.
When that didn't work, you took every...
Look at the first comment under this. I tuned in to see a banger match, and all I get is 2 guys on a
Jesus.
mic. TK would never. Fucking
he can't.
single shot you could to try to kill this place, and you still couldn't do it. And then you took a big chunk of change to go join the competition. How'd that work out for you?
Damn, and the crowd actually reacts to some AEW
Yeah.
shit for once, but they're called the competition here. Are they really competition? See, like WWE throws AEW so many fucking bones all the time. Like before AEW was even on TV, they acknowledged AEW on Raw and shit like that. Like all of these things, man. They throw them so many bones. They just called them the competition. Tony's gonna be like, oh yeah, we are the competition. They even said so on their show. Like, you don't need to do them any favors, WWE, you know? But yeah, this is what I mean. Like everyone, oh, AEW fucking they never get a fair shake. Dude, WWE puts them over more than they even bury them, really. If you think about it. Like I swear to God, they do. They have.
And then you took a big chunk of change to go join the competition. How'd that work out for you?
Pretty good, honestly.
He's like, well, I got to smack those goofs around, and I fucking got a bunch of money. I still got paid, and then I got to come here.
Hey, back home in Chicago, too, in the first show.
You want to call me a martyr? No, man. I never felt bad about anything that I did. I never felt ashamed. I fought and I stayed because that's how revolutions are made. All right? That's how they're made. They're made in the trenches, not by cowards who abandon their families. You stay in the trenches, you fight. That's how we win the war. And we won the war. And you want to come back in here and you want to wave the flag with us? No way. You can't big brother me anymore because I'm the damn big brother. So you will take another 10 years off after the 6, but it's not going to be a decision you make. It's going to be one I make for you.
Yeah, Seth was cooking too. Just
no,
God
this is a great
damn it,
back
man.
and forth.
Yeah.
You can recognize the pioneers because of the arrows in their back. I was the first one through the wall and I got bloodied for it. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me.
Damn. What did he say about the arrows in the back, man? That shit is amazing. It's
Yeah, that's how
poetic.
you can tell the pioneers. It's such a good way of saying it. Using pioneer
So
was
true.
perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
place I worked. I just hated the guy in charge, and he loved you.
Oh, it's so good.
And in
I watched it like 4
situations
times.
where you should have had my back, all you did was shoot.
Yeah, dude, that shit's crazy. I love the place I work. I hated the guy in charge, and he loved you.
Loved you.
Damn, man.
that is
serious.
fire.
Serious Seth is money, bro. I don't fucking know why. Like, we always got to say this, but
Yeah.
serious Seth is money.
Which he's going to turn into
Arrows
after this.
in
He's
it.
going to be the heel.
Yeah.
And then I leave, and lo and behold, he shows his true colors, and he stabs Roman Reigns in the back. And now he's dressed like an idiot, trying to play victim in a situation that he created.
So good.
Those arrows kill weak people. The greats, above all odds, find a way to march forward. And I left because I had to, and I got far enough away until those arrows couldn't reach me anymore. And after a few years, I started to be able to pull them out. And after a few more years, I pulled them all out. And I came back because for 7 years, they chanted, mostly during your television time, my name.
Mostly during your television time.
So delighting.
Fucking bodied up.
Oh, it's so good.
my- Dude, that's fucking hilarious. The bunk. Oh.
I should be dead, Seth, but I'm not. And oh, aren't the arrow throwers mad? Next week, those same arrows that were supposed to do me in, I carry to this day. And I'm walking into LA, Netflix, live and in living color, with a fistful of arrows, and I'm gonna jam them down your corporate throat.
Damn. Called him corporate. The biggest diss ever in wrestling is to be
Right.
corporate.
He started off to become a bootlicker too before he said the stuff that was so cool.
That's why it's so funny. The Bucks and them thought they'd get over being EVPs.
Yeah.
Like, no, that doesn't make you over in wrestling, bro. People don't like when the owner is booking them. So, you know, like
Right.
the executive vice president is also gets to book himself as or in any way he wants or his friends. Like, people don't like that. Unless you're like Adam Sandler and your friends are actually cool and talented and funny, you know?
You know, I've never said this to your face. Maybe once upon a time you were a pioneer. What you have become is a cancer.
Boring, boo. Same old, same old.
You are a cancer to that locker room. You are a cancer in my brain. You are a cancer to this business. And cancer does not cure itself. The only way to defeat it is to cut it out. So in 1 week, you bring your fistful of arrows. I'll bring my eyes of fire and my heart full of hate and rage, and I will burn you to the ground.
Yeah, Seth was a dude for the longest fucking time where I was like, who is he? Okay, good. He
Yeah.
can wrestle good. Who is he? The architect. Okay, but how? What does that fucking mean? Bro, right here is who he is. That
great.
shit fucking cooked. The ending to that shit cooked too, with the whole fire in my eyes and hate and rage in my heart, and I'll burn you down or whatever. With the air, you come with your fist full of arrows. These motherfuckers doing Shakespeare. You know, this shit is amazing, bro.
It's so good.
And this match is gonna fucking cook, bro. January 6th couldn't get here any quicker.
And they keep calling it the main event too, so it's gonna be amazing.
Oh man, and they're saying that this is like a WrestleMania level fucking night for them. As what I think is, we're getting Solo versus Roman, right? I think we're gonna get a billion run-ins and shit. Excuse me,
Yeah.
like a bunch of run-ins and Stone Cold out of nowhere or something.
I think that'll probably start the show. Like, that'll be the
I
first
keep
match,
saying
just crazy.
I keep saying Stone Cold because it's like think about it. Your first Raw on Netflix, you don't have Austin show up and stun or someone. Like, I just feel like you have to.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Like, you have to, right? Like, you have to do that. No?
Yeah, you do.
I don't know. There's no time limit on this show either. So it's not
Well,
like, oh, it's going to be 2 hours. Like, this thing's going to be 3 hours. SmackDown's 3 hours. And we know it'll be at least 3. So if it goes a little over, too, because maybe the final boss shows up and I don't know. You can't come soon enough. This Seth and Punk match is going to fuck cook.
Well, Austin said Austin's made that hint already about being at Mania because it's in Vegas and he lives in Nevada. That's not that far from LA. Like, yeah, no, it all just makes sense. Start selling stories now. Planting seeds, getting us ready for Mania.
Yeah, amazing stuff. So that was our newses, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for those newses. Daniel Flores for $5 says, I feel like this would be Bret and HBK if he never got injured after WCW got bought out. Yeah. I mean, yeah, imagine how good it would have been if Macho and like Bret Hart came back to fucking WWE in that 2000, early 2000s.
Well, I don't know about Macho. He had already made that like Be a Man Hogan record and tried to do all that. Macho might have been done. That's so bad. His rap record. I don't know. I just remember he made the rap record, and that was where I kind of was like, "Oh, Randy."
Yeah, but Bonesaw's ready.
All right. Yeah, no, that was 2000 or 2001. So you're right about that.
Yeah, he could have did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. This is like Bret HBK level for me.
Yeah. Oh man, and it was supposed to be the Mania match last year, and everybody knows that. So like, it is. I mean, it's definitely a Mania level match.
Plinian says that was perfection on both sides. Promo of the year. Yeah, I wrote it in the title because it was promo of the fucking year, man, without question. Promo of the year.
That is how
and
it's
he just dropped it like at the end of the year, like nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got. Let's see if we got news in any of these folders here. No, I just have a top. Here's Helwani talking about when Brock Lesnar walked up on Undertaker after his fight with Cain Velasquez and was like, "You want to do it?" And was like, years ago, like they were gonna, and he interviewed Undertaker, and Undertaker's like, "Yeah, for sure. If this sport had money in it 20 years ago, like I would have did this probably, like more than likely, you'd have seen me fighting and shit." So I don't know. This is his recounting of it. He did this beautiful hour-and-a-half long segment where he went over all his infamous like interviews over the years. And this was one of them. And here's his reaction to that situation, trying to explain if that was a work or shoot or what.
I'm guessing you've seen this infamous "You Want to Do It" interview. And this was a massive turning point in my career. I'll never forget the next day, Bill Simmons tweeting it out, it exploding, TMZ picking it up. Everyone picked it up because it was so surreal to see what happened while we were filming. Some people even accused Casey Leiden and I, who, by the way, shot the vast majority of these. He didn't shoot the MMA rated ones. The great E. Casey Leiden. They thought we were in on it. They thought we were in on the kayfabe, the work. I don't know. I had no idea what happened. And I'll let you in on a secret. I couldn't hear most of it because it was so damn loud in there. So I'm asking him questions, hoping to unearth something, and only finding out after what he said. In any event, here's my conversation with The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, seconds after Cain Velasquez beat Brock Lesnar in October of 2010 at the Honda Center.
Oh, I don't think he plays him actually talking to Undertaker here, but basically it's I said. He's like, "Yo, what?" And then Brock walks up to him and he's like, "We're gonna do this." Or whatever, you want to do this right now, or whatever the fuck he says. Maybe it's posted underneath. But yeah, there's the full video. It's like an hour long, whatever. An infamous thing. But basically, he explains that he comes down the tunnel, and the first person he sees standing there is Paul Heyman. And yeah, dude. And he goes up and he's like, "Yo, Paul, like, Undertaker just walked up to, or like Brock just walked up to Undertaker, and they're like, you want to do this or whatever?" And he's like, and then Paul got upset and was like, "How dare Undertaker do this?" Like, whatever, but it's Paul, so he's probably working, he's like working always an angle for Brock because he's like his real life de facto like manager,
right.
I don't know, just very compelling stuff and how it bled over. And I was thinking about it today. I saw a picture of that class of OVW with Victoria, Benjamin, Brock, Orton, Cena, and Batista. And I'm like, dude, 2 of these guys are A-list household Hollywood stars, Batista and fucking Cena. Then you have Brock, who's like a bigger name. Like he could do anything and it'll be big and draw a bunch of eyeballs, you know? And then you had like Benjamin and then Orton, who's like a WWE whatever. But just think about that class right there. Like
it's an amazing class.
How huge the fucking like a handful of those people became, all of them really in the wrestling world. But Jimmy B for $5 says, did you see that Jeff Hardy wants his last opponent to be Punk? Yeah, I would too. I want mine.
I think he said he wanted to be Punk's last opponent was what I thought I saw him say, but maybe it was that.
Damn, yeah. I think I saw it where he was saying that he wanted Punk to be his last opponent, but it seems like the Hardys are really trying to lobby to get back into WWE, and I don't know if WWE are willing to go there with them yet. After
want to put him in the Hall of Fame, I don't think they really want him to wrestle. Maybe one more match, but
I just don't. I don't know. I could see. I'd love like a mini NXT run or something. But all I'll say is this. I would want Roman and Hulk Hogan to be mine in a, you know what I mean? I want Punk to be my last fucking match too, bro.
Right. Especially with how hot he is right now and cutting that promo. Yeah, please.
Makes a lot of sense. Let's move along here. I think I have some other quick ones to fire off. So we talked about it earlier in the show. AJ Francis has re-signed with TNA. Congrats to him. TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth says that I hope in 2025 I get 50 different opponents that can also help make TNA that much better going into 2026. Like I said, it's a very ambitious 2025 coming up for TNA, and we've got to deliver. He was also asked, like, do you see TNA selling out these bigger buildings? And he's like, well, I plan on it. So that's what I'm here. That's my job. That's what I'm here to do. Like, that's what I hope happens. So yeah, dude, TNA, man, they're blowing up. This will be their year. This is going to be a huge year for TNA. I'm telling y'all. So during both Raw and SmackDown last week, Sportsnet Canada has heavily advertised that they would be the new home of TNA. During several commercial breaks for SmackDown and Raw, ads for TNA aired in their Sportsnet, the new home. So Sportsnet is using WWE as best as they can to promote TNA's debut on the network once WWE leaves it. This isn't the first time this has happened in the wrestling business, but yeah, dude, this is going to get people excited for TNA more and more. I don't know. They're using WWE to be like, hey, TNA is this. We're the home of TNA. And I don't know, man, wrestling's hot again. Hopefully this picks up some steam. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a huge, huge year for TNA, and I'm pumped for it. The wrestling wars, the streaming wars. Yeah, maybe they'll get on a streamer too. Dude, look at this. Look at my tweet. Well, we'll talk about it during Dave Meltzer's segment, but dude, I went viral as fuck today. Look at that shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I did see that one. That was a good one.
Let's move along here. What else? What didn't we do today? I don't think we did sickos or a melt-headed Meltzer, right? So did we go into miscellaneous? No, we didn't. So we talked earlier about reality of wrestling. Here's Joe Hendry hitting his one-handed thing on a giant, big 6'4", 274-pound boy. And here at Reality of Wrestling, and you'll see Booker T on the outside of the ring. And this is a big motherfucker to be hauling up like that. You know what I mean? And Hendry's not a small guy either. You know what I mean? But he gets this. Edge Stone is his name. There you go. The new Edge in WWE, hopefully. You know what I mean? No, I'm just joking. Edge will always have that name. But yeah, and then you just see him get this, you know?
Yeah.
He just gets him up, and it's like, holy shit. I think I can leave the sound on for these. Oh, no, maybe there's no sound. Look at this shit. One hand.
Slam. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that's on Edge Stone, who's a great size, a great look. Fucking, where's he at, NXT? For real, what's up?
Is he a WWE ID guy yet?
Hopefully, man. Hey, they're in Reality of Wrestling.
Right, exactly.
WWE, so get that boy to fucking NXT, man, right away. Let's
Seems
go.
like he's got the tools.
Get my guy down to NXT. And then you got fucking Booker T, like his head's down because his thing's like he's beefing with Hendry kind of thing, and it carries over to NXT. And this is what I mean, dude.
It's all connected.
Like laughing. Yeah, it's all going to connect. TNA, Hendry, NXT, Booker T, reality of wrestling. Let's fucking go. Shout out Edge Stone as well because obviously you need assistance to get, he ain't just doing that on his own.
You can see his arms
Neckbeard.
holding himself up. He's good.
Yeah. So Neckbeard's post, I love professional wrestling. So here's Jesus, who had a match over the Christmas break here. And he's actually using Steven Seagal techniques, believe it or not.
Oh, I saw his entrance. I didn't see his actual wrestling. I just saw his entrance online.
Hendry's was better than Jesus's.
Hey, I believe in Joe Hendry, man. Oh, that's great. The double cross. I mean, that's got to be his move.
Jesus, the crucifix clotheslines. My
The
God.
crucifix
As a
clothes.
Jew, how do you feel about this?
Hey, man, if it draws, I'm all for it. If it
Yeah,
draws, I'm all
there
for
you
it.
go.
Is Beth Phoenix going to show up? Because I see Marina Shafir keeps attacking Edge.
Yeah,
Come on,
Jesus
Beth.
draw. Is Jesus a draw, chat? You guys let us
Yeah.
know in chat. Is Jesus a draw? Yeah, dude.
Did Jesus sell
you-
tickets? That's all I want to know.
You called it, and George or someone was asking, like, oh, do you think, like, it sounded like Jake was saying that Beth will show up next Dynamite. And I was
didn't
like,
think it was going to be that soon.
Yeah, I
but
was like, I
just-
don't think he said that. I think he was saying just in general, she's
yeah.
the what can counteract Marina. But if it happens here, I mean, shit, you might as well do it your debut on Max. No, try and pull some
Right?
numbers.
Something. I just keep seeing her attacking Edge specifically. I feel like anytime she hits him, I'm like, where's Beth? Because Tony can't save anything. He should save it. Like it should be a long thing. Like she should be beating up Edge for a while, and he can't hit her, and then Beth comes back like I don't know before a pay-per-view or something. But Tony will book it to happen, all in one night.
So is the match still? Yeah. So like, why would he even waste time making a legal tag when the ref just followed Edge to brawl around the building with no count
Right?
out? Like, what the fuck? What would be the point? I just get in the ring and say, yeah, he tagged me, or I just, like it doesn't
who
even
cares?
Fucking zero psychology to this shit. El Hijo del Vikingo was injured at a Progress Wrestling event. The match was stopped early. Prayers up for El Hijo. I quote tweeted it, and I wasn't being a dick. I was being for real. Like, yo, this is the second or third time I think in this year. Like, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe that style and shit isn't the way to go. All I'm saying. Like, maybe you shouldn't do all those moves all the time. Maybe save some for like when you do a WrestleMania moment or something big at a pay-per-view. Here's some wrestling fan. Football fan. Is this a Bills fan?
Yes, this is the Bills Mafia.
This is the Bills Mafia.
This is George's
So
people.
George, you crazy son of a bitch. Here's a Bills fan no selling a razor's edge through a table.
He's about to get fucked up.
Damn, he just no-sold that razor's edge, bro. Fucking Scott Hall's rolling in his grave right now.
Good
Andre Adams
Lord.
for $2 says Wheeler Yuta built like an evil vegan. Oh my god.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that Marina wears the same pants as Moxley.
Right.
It's cute. I wonder how Roddy feels about that.
And Renee.
Yeah, no doubt. Built like an evil vegan. Jesus Christ, Andre Adam.
It's a good one.
Yeah, you always just I don't even know how you think of that shit sometimes. Yeah, they're on the announce table. Hopefully it doesn't like collapse on its own. Okay, we'll rip through this. That's a thing. This miscellaneous. This is a video for another day. The world's cheapest wrestler on Extreme Cheapskates. I'm going to EFAP that with you guys. TJP's current contract with New Japan is set to expire soon. Those spoken to within the promotion say they are hoping to keep TJP and have actively been negotiating. So I don't know. Maybe we see TJP back in TNA or something, but it seems like he likes being in New Japan. He's going to stay there. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So yeah, dude, look, even as we've been on the air, like this tweet had 3K likes. Now it has 3.1K likes. And yeah, look, this post about the PWT live show got almost 10K views of people just seeing we were live tonight. So that's amazing.
Nice.
Round of applause to me for going viral for just simply roasting Dave Meltzer. I can't wait to look at my notifications. I can't wait to see if any like Bischoffs responded to me or anything like that. Or if it's just people hating and maybe they're like, Meltzer's the man guy. Why do anyone hating Meltzer's a clown? But we'll see. So what is this team called again? CMFTR? Rated FTR?
No, this is rated FTR.
Okay, so yeah, one of them.
Well, yeah, something.
Yeah, so this match ended here. They got the win, obviously, the shatter machine into the fucking spear. And then we're gonna roast Dave Meltzer for a little bit here. But first and foremost, we're just watching the ending here of Dynamite. Their first one on Max. This was the mother of all simulcasts or whatever they called it, which
That's
is
what they
cringe as
said.
fuck. But yeah, I guess that's a thing. So,
and I saw some people posting that on Max it was full screen commercial and not picture in picture on Max. So doing well. Good start.
So Kenny Omega returns next week. All is well. All is well. Okay. Okay, that was what it was. Another AEW in the books, just more of the same going into 2025. I think it would have been cool if Beth showed up. That would have been the move, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you brought your flutes. I want to see flutes in the chat, please. E flutes, big flutes, little flutes, long flutes, short flutes, tall flutes, all the flutes I want to see being played in the chat. Because it is time for everyone's favorite segment. And it is time for the first of its kind of 2025. Believe it or not, the first, okay, of this segment in 2025. What a way to set it off.
Oh, man.
I'm just hydrating here. It is time for everyone's favorite segment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. It's so good in 2025.
He just doesn't stop.
So Meltzer said what? Earlier we covered how that Observer Geek fan asked this dumb question at the World's End Media Scrum. We reacted to it with Awful Wrestling. Let's play it again here. This is incredibly humiliating and embarrassing. We'll play this minute in full. We'll read Meltzer said what's reaction to it. And this is one of the most humiliating fucking things of all time. And this is one of Dave's cronies. If you go on the guy's Twitter, he's an Observer fan. He's one of these guys that Meltzer says like, oh, there's a show going on in Philly that I'm not watching. Someone tweet me the fucking results or whatever. And this is how he gets worked by marks all the time. And he sends out some mark to come out here and not even ask a question. He just made a series of statements. It's for real.
That's what it is. No, exactly. It's exactly what it is.
It's all just bad faith and made up. And yeah, that's all he says. It's not even a question. He just makes a bunch of statements, and then Tony makes all these
a bunch of faces
because this guy was told this question to ask this question, and Tony's trying to sell it and pretend like this is his first time hearing this. No. So let's listen to this. And this is an L for Dave. Awful's like, dude, he's sending his fans out here to get shot. Like, what the fuck? So this is an L for Dave on so many levels as well, but just Observer in general. Let's listen to this minute of glazing and coping.
Corey Lee with the Wrestling Observer. Now,
with the Wrestling Observer.
What I would consider a lot of chatter online, negativity in regards to
negativity.
The product. And obviously, you're just coming off a brand new television deal. You're going to be on Max.
Am I? Did I get a Max deal? Did I get a deal with Max? I don't know.
You guys have
what are these faces?
At least a strategy for
the faces are the worst part.
Try to combat a lot of this negativity.
I'm being normal. I am a normal person.
Online and is basically done for almost monetary reasons to basically, bring down what you guys are doing when you guys are literally having.
These are actual. This is Meltzer. You know what's funny, Jake, is that he's literally reading Meltzer off of a card, and literally,
Seriously, is Dave on the other line?
That's what Dave wrote on this asshole's cue card. Is it's like, actually, fuck, dude, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Your best year that
and it's just haters, and they're not real, and you're the best guy, and literally, like,
we love you. They're doing it for money.
Like I said, I just see it online, and it's difficult. It's hard. It's hard to watch if you're a fan of AEW. To just see again a lot of the negativity in regards to
what are you saying?
Negativity as well.
Land the it was just a series of statements. There was no question there.
And it was a follow-up. It was a run-on sentence. It's just one long sentence. It's so Dave.
Yeah, dude. I swear Dave wrote that out word for word, bro. And then Meltzer said what says the classic Wrestling Observer AEW media scrum question, where they ask a question that has a long rambling preamble to it, frames the scenario for the person answering it, then establishes that the people who think this way are wrong and bad faith because everything is in fact great. This is great. Where's my grade? Yeah, so there's a throwback to the same thing. Meltzer said doing the Lord's work as usual. Here's a throwback to 2022 of more of the same.
Question, Tony. Nyla Rose. Here's Amy's question, Tony. Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill have built an epic feud.
Sorry.
And storyline around the TBS
Why is it positive?
Championship with the stolen belt, replica belt going on tour with Jade, and Nyla's shenanigans. How did this story come about, and what are your expectations for Full Gear?
Well, the story came about in a funny way. We have actually, to be honest, I think planned.
Like, I promise you don't have to add the "how are you so great" preamble to every question you ask. And that's all. He's just pointing out how they glaze them, they frame it in a certain way, and it's just comes with a bunch of fucking but actually, you're so great, and Tony Khan, billionaire, the best guy's Tony Khan. Like, it always has to come with some bullshit like that.
And a deceit, and Nyla's had to steal the championship belt. It was Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone mentioned something about it, and we had the meeting. And every once in a while, I thought it was a great idea that Nyla ended up running with, and she had a lot of fun with it.
So Glenn Gilberti, the Real Disco Inferno, responds to this, stupid ass weird series of statements from this Observer guy. And he says, the Dave Meltzer One community of contributors only serve the purpose of providing comedic content for the podcast to make fun of at this point. Good grief. Fucking absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Couldn't be more spot on with Disco.
Serious.
So Drain Bamager quotes Dave Meltzer here. And Meltzer says Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher might be the best pay-per-view opener in the history of pro wrestling. So people immediately responded to Dave and were like, bro, Owen Brett, fucking Ray versus Kurt Angle. Like, I don't know. There's a whole list of these matches that you could name. And it's crazy to think this was the best opener of any pay-per-view ever. Of course, Dave was going to say this. We all knew it. We knew the agenda was give Ospreay 2 5 stars in one night or whatever. But Dusty Dave says, well, Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher might have been the best opening match on a pay-per-view in history. It's certainly up there. I'm trying to rack my brain to come up with one better. He's always racking his brain. Oh, I'm trying to rack my brain because my brain has every match that's ever taken place ever in different compartments. My brain compartmentalized in wrestling promotions. New Japan's over here on the left, and I'm trying to rack my brain around Ospreay's catalog. Like, what the fuck is he talking about, man? So yeah, he's always trying to rack his brain, an impossible feat seemingly. And
seriously,
he's trying to to say you rack your brain, like, okay, even if you disagree that Ray versus Kurt Angle wasn't better, it's not that hard to think of that one,
Well, and Alan Thomas just put it in the chat, and I thought that too. Didn't Punk and Drew open Hell with the Hell in the Cell? Didn't they open Bad Blood with the Hell in the Cell match this year? I'm pretty sure that was the opening fucking match.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God! Someone
Because
confirmed
the ending
that
was
in
Cody.
chat.
Because the ending was Cody and Roman with Rock. That was the end of the pay-per-view. So they opened with Seth, with Punk and fucking Drew.
God. If they
Jesus.
opened with Punk and Drew, and he's saying he's having a hard time racking his brain around it, dude. That they did. Dashing Purple's like, dude, they open. Holy shit! Match of the year. Open that fucking.
Yeah,
and
it had to
Dave
be.
Meltzer's like fucking.
Oh my God.
Fucking saying he's trying to rack his brain around it. That's pretty crazy, man. When it happened just this year, and also Owen Brett exists.
Yeah, at WrestleMania 10. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure there's other WrestleManias that we're not thinking of that. Yeah, like with like Ray and Kurt and other ones.
Robbie C said it too. WWE doesn't do pay-per-views.
Yeah, but more people are watching them.
WWE doesn't do pay-per-views. They're premium live.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Oh God, man, that is so sad. Meltzer is arguing back and forth with people. This guy named Duke Phillips, who asks, Dave Meltzer, is the strong style forearm exchange overdone in modern wrestling? And Meltzer says, here's pro wrestling. If the crowd reacts to it big on those nights, no. If the crowd doesn't react, yes. There are no rules in wrestling past. What works, works. So many things I've thought can't work based on logic from the past, and then they do work. Like, name one thing. Rather than get mad and call them wrong, I just realize things change, things work, get done to death, don't work, rinse, repeat. So, like, that's such a deflection of him just saying, is it overdone? Well, if it works on that night. Right. But if it's being overdone, then the likelihood of it working on any given night, let's say this year, let's say the forums are being overdone this year, right? And then this year I go do a forearm exchange and it doesn't get over. Is that not because it's being overdone? Dave Meltzer, you cannot just skirt around and say all this shit about reaction and there's no rules in wrestling. And like, if it works on the night, then it works. Yeah, we know if it works on the night, then it works, but that's not it. Something could still be overdone. Chops in the corner could be overdone, but still work every time. And you could still say it's overdone. Like, he's just separating. He's just skirting completely away from what the question even is. And then answering, going on some psychobabble about some other completely random thing that isn't even about what this guy's asking about. And then
didn't answer the question at all.
No, and then Glenn Gilberti goes, how about if it's done so often over time, hundreds of thousands of people stop watching it? Boom. Exactly. It's done every fucking match, bro.
Yeah.
Biased much. So here is the Wrestling Observer Figure 4 W online, same shit, different fucking name. WWE drew 7,854 in the Kia Center, and AEW did 6,978 at the Edition Financial Arena. So WWE drew more for a house show, but it was also barely half full for a pro wrestling full setup. AEW was just shy of a sellout. So, bro, so now the empty buildings matter. Is that
right?
What you guys mean to tell me? Is that what you guys mean to fucking tell me? That now all of a sudden the fucking buildings being half full matters. And this, oh my God, I'm so tired of these stupid idiots.
It's just ridiculous. Like, that's just not even like, oh, it's just sad. And then he tries to tell you he's not
bad,
biased.
bro. It's a sad fucking spiral, bro. For Alvarez too. Alvarez don't get a pass. His name's on this shit. Figure 4. You don't get a fucking pass.
No, not at all.
But yeah, so WWE drew more for a house show, but it was also barely half full for a pro wrestling full setup. And oh God, a full setup. Fuck you. AEW is just shy of a sellout, and usually when you come a few hundred shy, you announce a sellout. They had no point on the broadcast claim to sellout. Of course, it's a house show versus pay-per-view, but it's also a super hot company who is the market leader. When WWF did this many times, usually in the past, they'd run the day before rather than head-to-head with a WCW pay-per-view show. The WWF house show always outdrew the WCW pay-per-view show. It also would run late to tire out the crowd for the next day, so this was a different strategy. Bro, listen, this is what they don't understand. Or maybe they understand this, but they just won't admit it or whatever the fuck. But listen, you wouldn't say all that unless you were just a biased fucking shill
Yeah,
on
there's no other
payroll,
reason to.
Not fucking washing Glazer, bro. Glizzy Glazer. That's the only way you would ever even explain all of this when just a house show outdrew a pay-per-view. The explanation should be why the fuck they didn't draw more for. Well, this is that explanation. No, you're just saying, well, WWF always outdraws everything, so it's not a big deal, or like it shouldn't be a concern, or like they tried to throw in the negative. Well, it was only half full compared to this actual full that was a sellout, but they didn't say it was a sellout, and all this dumb fucking mental gymnastics they're doing all the time, trying to boo-boo. You wouldn't boo-boo on WWE. You'd be like, phenomenal work for them. In the past, they did that as well. AEW should work on this. It happened to WCW. If they want to get out of the WCW comparisons, they need to do this. But instead, all anyone's doing is comparing them to fucking WCW. They're competing with a dead company. And I've been saying this. I need Bischoff to come do a segment with me. Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. He needs to hear this. Okay? They're competing with him and his dead company that doesn't exist anymore. You know, it's crazy.
And all this does is boost Tony's ego. Like, yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing great. Everything's great. Like, no, you need to hear how bad you're doing.
Yeah, because Daddy Dave told me. Daddy Dave and fucking cousin Brian told me. So everything's great, you know? Eric Bischoff, speaking of which, responds to this World's End thing. And this is what I was saying. Like, this is like incestuous, weird. In no other sports or entertainment does this type of shit fly, where you have a guy up there making faces like this, being an asshole, while a guy reads a fake question from who's not even a real journalist, from not a real news organization or anything, claiming they're this is some sort of real press conference. I don't know. This is kooky territory. But anyways, Bischoff says this is entering a level of bizarre that's going from darkly entertaining to starving puppy sad.
Seriously?
Where did these creeps come from? Yeah, it's like disturbing, bro. It's getting weird out there, man.
Yeah, like
wrestling.
a couple of years ago, the press scrums were fun to watch. It was a joke. It was enjoyable. Now it's just creepy. I can't watch them at all now. It just gives me the heebs.
Yeah, I typically I try and catch the clips after. I'll throw it on like while I'm laying there, and I'll kind of listen to it. But it's not something I'm fucking overly excited to see, especially not the WWE ones anymore, because they're so controlled. But anyways, Mr. Wrestling says that Punk and Drew have the edge, or this is what Meltzer says, but he's asking his audience to agree or disagree. So Dave Meltzer says Punk and Drew have the edge as far as match of the year, in sense it was a big feud climax and very well done Hell in a Cell. So he's comparing it to Ospreay and Fletcher, dude. Okay? So Dave says that Punk and Drew have the edge in a sense that it was a big feud climax and very well done Hell in a Cell. And it was a huge crowd, Dave, and they cut great promos, and they actually worked. And it was blood once in a while, and it was all of these great things with the bracelet and the storytelling and the beads and the fucking all of these amazing things, and the moves they were doing was cool. And if they weren't the type of moves you like, oh well, but you can't say like what, they didn't sell well, they didn't hold their holds tight enough, they didn't lay their shit in. Like, what makes good wrestling? Selling, being athletically gifted, doing these sorts of things, like telling the story of what is the match. I saw some wrestler tweet out too, like, oh man, the story. This is a wrestler saying this. He's like an indie guy. He's like, oh, the storytelling in a match isn't just the stuff around the match. It can be in the match too, like working a body part. Yeah, we know, but that can't be your fucking television show story, guy. Exactly. And I hate to go so hard on. I forget the indie wrestler who it is, but it's like, yeah, everyone gets that, but this is a television fucking show. So go to an indie. Yes, most of the stories are going to be a guy comes out, cuts a promo, two guys come out, they work a body part. Right. That's a house. That's like not even house show. That's like an indie show thing. You don't know the guys. This isn't that, bro. This is a weekly television product. You're trying to tour around the world and all this shit. You have to tell more than just that. Some of the matches in WWE are that too. But it can't all just be that, bro. Can't all just be about the fighting spirit and all that shit. Trust me, bro. That does not work. But yeah, Meltzer saying Punk and Drew have the edge. It was a big feud climax, very well done. But as far as match goes, Ospreay and Fletcher was a lot better. Not even like, just a bit better. No, this was a lot better than Punk and Drew, bro. This is what the fuck he said, man. He's a sick freak, dude. He's lost his mind. In no way was Fletcher and fucking Ospreay even comparable. It was not even comparable.
No.
A wasted throwaway match in a fucking tournament that led to nothing but Okada versus Kenny again. You know,
Right.
that's nothing compared to what Drew and fucking Punk did. And
The end of the
Meltzer,
freaking 10-month feud.
this is why he has lost all of his credibility, and I will roast him till
Mhm.
the end of time. There's no way I'm going to allow him to get away with this in his fucking final years
this one.
of being a fucking reporter, because soon he's going to have to give this shit up. I swear
Yeah.
people are going to call for his head, and he's going to have to give this shit up. And I don't want that to happen, but I also will fucking cackle, you know? And that's why Alvarez, you got to start calling Dave out more. You got to, but Dave won't listen. But either way, Sean Garrett from, what is this? Some Channel 7 news or something? I don't fucking know. That logo next to his name is for like,
Yeah.
something 7 or so, I don't know. Brian Alvarez, Vincent Verhey, Proper Jam, Filthy Tom Lawler. Since we were asking who has written more than Dave Meltzer, this is in the intro to the Winston Churchill documentary on Netflix. My money is still on Dave. So what a ball washer. But throughout his life, Churchill published over 6 million words, more than Shakespeare and Dickens combined, and delivered more than 5 million words in public speeches. Meltzer goes more than 80 million. Dave Meltzer's written more than fucking 80 million words.
You what?
Is that true, dude? I don't know if that's true.
I mean, the Observer's been going on since the early 80s, so I can see it. But this is also why Dave has no fucking life.
Dude, 80 million. Like, it wouldn't shock me. Most of them are, yeah, you know, like,
Yes.
that's what Lucy said. Meltzer said 80 million, yeah, like, and, you know,
Yeah.
Tony Khan. He said Tony Khan 4 million times in the last 6 years. But yeah, dude, that's pretty crazy. And then this guy, like, my money's still on Dave, which could be true, man. But yeah, I mean, dude, get a fucking life. You know
It's
what I
just
mean? Not that I'm saying, like, I love that he documented all that wrestling over all the time, but for him to just now be like a biased shill hack shell of himself, and I've written all these words, it's like, bro, no one reads your written shit anymore. They listen to your
The
dumb
thing is, if
radio.
you go back and listen to a lot of his shit, he was always a shill hack. Like, he was always bashing WWE. He'd always pick out a wrestler. Like he hated everything about Goldust so much that he's literally bashed on Dustin Rhodes for the rest of his career. It's just like, he's a psycho. He's a complete insane lunatic.
Yeah, and just zero credibility left.
None.
Here's the none left after, especially going into 2025. It's like,
seriously,
he's already done. Here's Dave Meltzer's top 10 botches of 2024 per Alfred Kunawa in all their hilarity. Let's hear it for journalism, studying, and learning. So again, Alfred Kunawa just bakes here. This is another amazing one.
Dave Meltzer's top 10 f-ups of 2024. Aging Dave misreported that Mike Johnson was denied access to a fake press conference. Midlife Meltzer got worked and misreported Hangman Adam Page's ankle injury as if it was real. Sling Blade Dave misreported that Nielsen put an end to those evil Fast National ratings, only for the Fast National ratings to continue to leak. Drip, drip. Lapdog Dave misreported that Jungle Boy wrote an apology letter to Tony Khan for the Brawl In. Jungle Boy denied ever writing such a letter. Message board Meltzer misreported WWE was keeping Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu apart, only for the two to get physical days later. Middle-aged Dave misreported Damian Priest and Seth Rollins would main event Money in the Bank. Then the Bloodline main evented against Rhodes and Randy. Dupable Dave misreported that Backlash would be in the Tokyo Dome. His source, a fake WrestleVotes account. Great Meltzer misreported Alpha's death while he was still alive. Meltzer promptly apologized. Cape and Dave confused a Rock Triple H segment from 2014 with a 2020.
That one was so good. It's like he just doesn't watch WWE. That's why he just skims through it. He just puts it on. He doesn't pay attention.
4 storyline. And the number one Meltzer mess up was Glazed Meltzer confusing a message board fanfic for a WBD internal memo, because these are
a fucking message board fightful fanfic, dude. Fucking amazing. Shout out Konoha. Dave Meltzer has weighed in on AEW's future recruitment.
Oh, good.
After former WWE stars Baron Corbin, AJ Francis, and Tyler Breeze reportedly attended AEW's World's End.
Because they live in Orlando.
Meltzer says, if somebody is exceptionally good or there's something they can do with them, that's unique. They have a unique idea for them. Of course, go for it. Dude, Breeze is better than 85% of the roster. But to have guys, just to have guys, they don't need more guys. They need more top guys. They need more stars. They don't need more bodies. Okay, well, where are they going to get the stars from? WWE? Then that doesn't work. So then you have to make a star, but then Tony can't make a star. But Dave Meltzer will just sit here and go, well, WWE's hot. That's the only reason why that these guys
Tony Khan.
And the viewership's going down. So, but I agree with him. They don't need more bodies. I wouldn't sign there unless he just offered me a shitload of money. But even Meltzer doesn't know if Crazy Tony's gonna fucking sign anyone or whatever. Meltzer said what? Says that Dave's gonna go 20 minutes straight on Wrestling Observer Radio about Seth's competition line to Punk on Raw and how much the AEW TV deal is worth. Then Brian will casually transition segments with, so take us through these ratings. And here we go. Meltzer said what? Follows up with it and says, it's Bizarro World, Maggie. After trying to get Dave to talk about the last Raw in USA, Dave wanted to discuss ratings. And then when Brian gave a long transition into talking about the history of Monday Night Wrestling on cable, Dave insisted on talking about CMLL instead. Dementia Dave, man. Dude, and we've covered it. We've chronicled it here at PWT the last handful of shows, how Dave is, they'll start talking about Raw ratings or whatever, and then he's like, and then Brian's like, well, first let's talk about the handicap MMA match in Poland, or like just obscure bullshit. He wants to talk about CMLL instead of Raw or the history of wrestling on Monday nights. You'd think you'd do that after USA, has had Raw. There was like a brief stint on TNN, I think, but it's been on USA for like 34 years or 32 years or whatever the fuck. So it's pretty crazy what Dave does. And this is just like, it's really sad at this point, man. 2025, it's no longer like nothing Dave says. I know he already lost all the credibility. Everyone just clowns him, but this is the sort of thing that no longer will anyone allow him, or should anyone allow him to get away with trying to say he's not biased. That needs to be what we get him to admit in 2025. You're biased. Just admit that shit. He never fucking will, but that's got to be not by questioning his journalism. We know it's all bullshit. We know he makes literally everything up. What we need to be telling him in 2025 is, bro, you're fucking, but how much do you own? 2%? 3%? You own 3%? He still never addressed it,
I still think it's just because he knows the Observer subscribers are AEW fans.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to talk about Raw, the final. This was actually, as far as cable TV, the end of Monday Night Wrestling.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's off cable television. Mm-hmm. We're doing this podcast.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Like he just doesn't
like
care.
No big deal.
He doesn't want to talk about it. The whole reason,
years of history doesn't matter.
The whole reason Dave Meltzer has any money or a job or anything in the world is because WWE and Monday Night Raw, and he's just like, yep. Oh well, like he's acting like it's nothing because he has to no sell everything WWE does as if it's nothing.
Podcast now because of Monday Night Cable Wrestling. That's how I first started getting into wrestling.
Alvarez is trying to say, dude, the only reason we do this shit is because of Monday Night Wrestling. And Dave just didn't see him all
Mexico. Didn't I bring up talking about Mexican wrestling?
You brought up talking about
Listen to Brian.
You can hear the defeat.
You brought up talking about Mexican wrestling?
Mexican wrestling?
You brought up talking about Mexican wrestling?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Big week CMLL had.
What about it?
Man, they had a giant weekend.
Oh my god!
What the? Oh my!
Man, they had a giant weekend.
Oh my god, man! Holy shit!
Just embarrassing,
bro. That fucking garnered the E flute. That's our E flute fucking moment of the whole of the segment. You know what I mean? Like, bro.
That gave me shortness of breath.
Bro, what the fuck is he talking about, man? Holy
I don't know.
Shit. That's insanity. He's like, oh, didn't I want to talk? I want to bring it back a bit here. This is crazy. He goes, didn't I want to talk about Mexican wrestling? Brian's like, I was just talking about the whole reason we have this show and Monday Night Wrestling, which is a fucking tradition on cable for the last 40 fucking years or whatever. And even before that, Territories Monday Wrestling was like a thing. And this is fucking, dude, this is like a big fucking deal. It's not on cable or anything anymore. Wrestling's now just on streaming. Monday's like the only reason we have a show or we even do this whole thing. And Dave go, well, didn't I want to talk about Max CMLL? They had a huge weekend. Bigger than this. Dave, this is why your numbers are shrinking, because the same reason AEW is shrinking, like no one cares about Mexican wrestling here, or we'd all be watching Mexican wrestling here. Dave, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah, the big week CMLL had.
Big weeks.
What about it?
Man, they had a giant weekend. So
we're talking about this now? Okay, talk about CMLL.
You can hear the defeat in Brian.
It's like an old grandpa with like dementia. Like, okay, grandpa, you want to play checkers now? Let's go play checkers.
Tell us the story of the war.
So yeah, Friday night show, they sold out on Friday. I think it's the holidays. But Friday sold out. Arena Mexico, over 15,000 people for the Legendario and Templario match with the Crixus and Ultimo Guerrero, Grand Alternativa finals, and
what?
What does any of this have to do with?
Oh my god, dude! He'd rather talk about that than fucking Raw and shit never being on Monday night anymore on cable. Like, this is so sad, bro.
Crixus did not win. Crixus was pushed like crazy the week before.
I'm sorry, are you saying crickets? What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Basically, there's a tournament where you have a star teaming with a newcomer, and the idea is the newcomer who wins the tournament is supposed to end up being a star. I mean, like the list of guys who've won this tournament, include, Mystico.
He loves him some Mystico, dude.
Garza, Soberano, Templario, Ultimo Guerrero, Rey Bucanero, like the whole list. You look at these guys, and it was like, there are exceptions, but generally speaking, the guy who wins this tournament ends up as a star, generally.
Oh my god, this man has fucking spiraled out of control. So, Jesus Christ. This guy, the thirst round pick, says, here's what Eric Bischoff actually said, and this post was deleted. So it was fucking, I want to say Meltzer talking shit. Yeah, he's responding to Dave, who deleted this post. So Dave deleted what he's talking. Yeah, dude.
Your screenshots.
Yes, because once the screenshots came, fucking old Dusty Meltzer got fucking destroyed. And so here's what Eric Bischoff actually said. I wish I could read what the fuck Meltzer said originally, but these are quotes from mid-2023 and others from 24. So reacting to the news on his special Wise Choices, Bischoff wanted everyone to know that he thought the reported news was positive for AEW, and save for the brief period WBD was in talks with WWE, he always felt AEW and WBD would come to terms.
Which was true.
First of all, it's nothing but good news, Bischoff said. Let's be really clear. Despite what a lot of people have said, particularly social media and dirt sheets and Reddit comments that I've seen, where I've been, according to them, forecasting demise for AEW, and they would never get a new deal and all that, which is absolutely false. Going back probably a year ago, I predicted that AEW would get a new deal. So this is when Dave said, show me where you predicted this and that. Show me either you're a fraud or a con artist or a liar. The best guy.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Yeah, so this is the response to that, okay? And, so here's more quotes with Bischoff. Someone came with receipts. Bischoff didn't even bother to. But, so Bischoff says, what matters is AEW's got a strong, firm, long-term foothold with a leading cable outlet that provides nothing but opportunity. So congratulations to Tony and the team and the roster, because at the end of the day, it's all about who tunes in to see who. That's all about the talent. Here we go. Here's what I do know. I know it's a really great thing. It's really great. I know Tony should be proud. The entire team of AEW. Boom, boom, boom. So basically, he just came with receipts, bro, like a year ago. Bischoff was saying he's kept the same energy this whole time. Bischoff responds and goes, "You're trying to debate with a delusional clown. He's lost in his own reality." Fucking bait.
Well,
and
well,
yeah, well, Brian. And to end this segment, we actually end it with your boy Phil Marks, because Dave Meltzer was talking all that shit about, and I think, well, I don't want to say other dirt sheets, but Meltzer for sure was just talking shit about, like, you know, the back catalog isn't going to be that good, and WWE's not going to, there's not going to be that much of a back catalog. And from the looks of it, and what I've been told the back catalog is like just lying through his fucking teeth. And even I said it on the show, it's like, yeah, sure, Dave. Yeah, it's really, it's, what did I tell you guys? It's going to be a WWE section on Netflix. So I have it right now. I don't know what it's like in America, but in Canada, I have it right now. There's a WWE section. They have a Raw vault, an NXT vault, and a SmackDown vault. Or you can just go to the WWE collection, and then every, like, WrestleMania, they have every fucking Royal Rumble. They added, like, every in your head. They added,
yeah, I saw they had, like, fully loaded and stuff.
Bro,
like,
they added every fully loaded.
ones.
Now on the episodes, like, let's say you click on Raw, they don't have every year and every episode uploaded yet, other than the last 3 years, though. So that's a pretty big back catalog. But also
to catch people
they have
up,
every key episode from, like, every year, from, like, the early 90s, and then the Attitude stuff. They're obviously curating a little more, but they have, like, all the key episodes of Raw, like, uploaded, man. So let's say you're like, oh, I want to look at Raw from 93. Okay, they don't have every Raw from 93, but they have, like, the fucking 5 key ones so far. And the reason is because they want people, like, apparently what Netflix is saying, not what Dave Meltzer invented what they said, but what they're actually saying, they want to like, slowly give people more and more of a catalog and a library and all of that, right? So I wake up, it's January 1st. First thing I do, I go to look at this thing, right? And I started watching WrestleMania 1 or whatever, but it's just hilarious. So I tweet this out, like, no mind. I'm paying no mind. It gets 202,000 views, 3.3K likes. When we started the show, it was at like 600 likes only. 254 retweets, 146 comments, whatever. So I went kind of viral. But I was like, Dave Meltzer, there won't be much WWE back catalog on Netflix. Netflix today, here's every Royal Rumble ever. And I got a pop. I pop myself, but I got a kick out of so many people thinking that's funny, because I'm saying every Royal Rumble. There's also, like, way more than that too. And it was just like I said, it's sectioned off. They have the Raw vault, the SmackDown vault, the NXT vault. Dave's a fucking idiot. If he actually associated with real human beings, if he actually watched Netflix, if he actually paid attention, if he actually knew shit about the TV business or streaming services. Oh, people have told me what I've been told. Who at Netflix is talking to Dave? Who at fucking WWE is telling Dave anything, bro? He's a fucking Muppet. He made that shit up. I was right again. Got 3 told you so's January 1st already. Okay, your boy Phil already fucking bringing the ding on fucking the ding on Meltzer. And that was Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week, and the first one of 2025, ladies and gentlemen.
Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here with me tonight. We had a fucking incredible turnout, like insane numbers.
Nice.
Like, you know, over 300 watching for a majority of the thing across both channels, and the likes were astounding. And Awful was amazing to have him on the first episode of 2025. And
in the chat.
Yeah, Alt Jake as well. It's
amazing
to have you here on the first episode of the year 2025. And I want to thank you all so much for being here. YouTube.com/@prowrestletimes. That's the main podcast channel. We're at 1,500 subs. We're trying to get up to 2K. But the main channel, Pro Wrestle Clips, that you can see on screen here, 5.35K goddamn subs. We're going to blow this thing up to 5.5 in no time, 6K in no time. And then patreon.com/prowrestletimes. Hours and hours and hours of bonus content you don't get on YouTube. That's only on Patreon. If you like to hear me and Alt Jake and stuff, follow Alt Jake at Alt Jake Takes On. Follow me at Pro Wrestle Times everywhere. New year, man. Keep doing your goddamn things. Be better this year. Hug each other, love each other, drink more water, carry those flutes mightily into battle, And this one's for the sickos. Again, another year for the sickos and the wackos out there. Love you all. And we'll see you in the upside down. Peace.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah.
You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing melts.
You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We have just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye. Boom.
You got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be live on my favorite movie. Time Con. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guy is Tony Khan.
Keep themselves safe.
What do we got? Super Dave, Pro Wrestle Clips. Tony Khan has Camille and Megan Baines sitting at home being paid since 2023 for nothing. Come on now. It's not going to be the